Well, here's the fun of things. When you're moving, all hell breaks loose, and you never end up finding things when you need to find them. You always
No.
find them later.
Yeah. So
But you know what? We've got cigars and we've got cocktails.
yeah.
So I got to say the new background there,
Isn't it?
it's beautiful.
Yeah, like my back patio is like I love it. Like I scooted my table a little bit because like I was like, oh, I'm gonna need this, but I could have left it where it was.
It's all good.
But okay,
Well, it's been a while, Red.
I know. Oh, are we on live?
We're live.
Oh my goodness, I am so. I didn't know. I'm
we
sitting here messing with everything. Oh my gosh, I almost think I'm crazy. Hello, hello. Y'all got to see me come in and like everything's falling over. So yay.
welcome back to the Twisted Pair. There's a reason
Ah,
why we are called the Twisted Pair. Uh,
holy
uh,
heck.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
So
This is
yes,
crazy.
yes. Excuse me, as I am trying to find my life and situate myself. As Graybeard said, I do have a new background, but I packed my light and I put it up at the front so I would know where it is. My glasses, all my cigars, my lighters, my cutters, everything that goes in my lounge. And for somehow it got back in the back corner of life. But I do. Can I show them my backyard?
Show me
I
your
mean
backyard.
this is y'all
So,
like look. This is this is what I have. It's not quite finished. So I'm putting a fire pit right in that corner. It goes in the corner and a chair on each side for like the fall. And so if you look right around here, my deck wraps around. And so do you see that right there? That's my
oh man.
creek. That is my creek. And it keeps going and going and going. I mean, it is just it's absolutely beautiful. I haven't finished. Like you see where it's dark, that keeps going back and back and back. So I haven't found that box of lights to put up yet.
Uh,
So
the, okay, there you are.
so whoa, and I disappeared. So as you can see, I'm trying to get my life together, y'all, and I'm not succeeding.
Well, I mean, all right. So, welcome everybody to the Twisted Pair. We're back,
Yay!
and we're back as crazy as we've always been. Nothing that hasn't changed.
No.
So, in the past 2 weeks, as you can tell, Red is in a new place. In the past 2, 3 weeks, I was supposed to have moved, but that fell through and didn't move. So I'm still in the same place where I was hoping to have been, with a new location, a new scenery, a new everything. But hey, life's what happens when you're busy making plans. Uh, I I already lit up. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Hey, you know what? I apologize. I feel like a complete like silly person that I came on like I did. I'm sitting
Well,
there, y'all. See, this is what happens in the green room. Y'all wonder what happens with in the green room. This is the kind of stuff that happens in the green room that y'all miss out on.
oh,
Just say,
and it's funny because we're both going back and forth on it, but throughout
yeah,
all of this, my kids had went out and purchased these fall Halloween glasses for us, and
yeah,
because she was packing and moving, and we were packing and moving, I don't know what box they're in. We didn't move, but I'm still packed up in boxes like I'm thinking that something miracle is going to happen, and I'm going to be let out of my lease, and I'm going to have a house and be able to move into it. So
yeah,
uh, we're not able to use those. We will use them at some point in time,
yeah.
and I just hope my
Shoot,
kids forgive me.
I might just do it in Christmas, like
Uh,
Halloween for Christmas. You know, I think we should have a Jack Skeleton. There we go. We're gonna have a Jack Skeleton day.
all right, all
So
right.
okay.
So, but this is still the fall cocktails.
Yes, yes, we're still doing fall cocktails.
Um, um, uh, I don't know if you can see this, but there is somebody that has just, I mean, talk about Halloween, talk about fall, talk about rising from the dead, Yogi has just tuned in.
Oh my goodness! Hey, Yogi! Mwah! Hey, hey, hey!
Well,
How are
let's get
you?
let's get into this because I'm so excited to show my cocktail to you.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I'll let you go first because and look, I have scenery. Look at this. I actually have fall trees, and you'll see
you
them
actually
fall.
have fall trees too. So yeah, so you get to experience the weather like I usually do.
Yeah, I love
So
it. What are you smoking?
fall
What are you
fall
drinking?
fall cocktail. I'm gonna go with cocktail first. Look at this.
Look at you with your bougie ass self.
So this is a spiced honey old fashioned. So the spiced honey has rosemary in it, boiled rosemary and cinnamon and cardamom and vanilla. All of that is in the syrup, and then
Ooh.
I am using Restoration Rye for my
Oh, one of
base.
my favorites.
And it has orange juice and lime juice all in it, plus my cinnamon sprig and my rosemary sprig and my orange. So I'm excited about getting into this, and I am pairing it with a Partagas Legend Leonard. So this blend is interesting. So the blend is a Connecticut broadleaf
Hmm.
binder for the wrapper. Binder is a Honduran Olancho San Agustin, and the fillers are Dominican Piloto Cubano fillers.
Very good.
And
That's gonna
so
be
this
interesting.
first time ever going with an old world named cigars. I
Well,
mean,
and and it's got like a ton. This is what I'm interested in. You have so much flavor and spices and so much going on in that cigar, as well as the drink. And so I'm excited to see what flavors you're going to pick up because I think
I
that you're going to have so many freaking amazing flavors that are just out of this world. Like that's
we
amazing.
lost her. Oh,
You lost me?
I'm
What?
excited about it. Just
Yeah.
for a second, just for a second.
Okay.
You're back. You're back. So what are you pairing? What are you
Okay.
doing?
So what am I doing? So I'm gonna actually move my camera because like I'm like just like right here, so I can do that to show y'all. Like I should do it like this here. So this is what I have. I have
Wow.
an apple cider butter mule.
Ooh.
A mule, typical mule. And I saw a couple of cocktail recipes, and I was like, oh, that sounds really good. I like that. I like that. I like that. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. So, you know, I take people's ideas and put them together to create my own. And so that's what I did with this.
How dare
So
you?
I know. So it's got apple cider. Usually I make my homemade apple cider, but this time I did not get to make homemade apple cider. Usually, whenever you make something homemade, it makes it 10 times better. But so I have uh, a packet of that. I have a huge old tablespoon of apple butter, and then, of course, vodka. I did 3 shots of vodka, because that's what you normally put in meals. But I also muddled an apple at the bottom. And then I put, so I have the apple cider and then the vodka and then the apples. And then I didn't add a lime. I didn't do a citrus because the
Really?
ginger. So yeah, so the ginger can be pretty powerful, and like I didn't want the ginger and the lime to fight with the my apples and my apple butter. And so you're going to get a little bit of that cinnamon and apple and stuff from the apple butter and the apple cider. So that is what I'm drinking. What I'm smoking is oops, are we able to see that? Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Ooh,
An
Adventura.
Adventure Barbosa. So this is, it has a San Andreas wrapper, and then it's got I'm thinking Dominican binder and filler. So it's pretty strong on the Dominican side of it, with a little bit of that sweet chocolate. And that's what I wanted to go for. Was, I really wanted that natural hay feel, like that countryside, because I feel like I want to go on a hay ride, with the fall weather. Even though I'm wearing a tank top, it is fall in Texas. Um, but I
Go
wanted to kind
figure.
of give that, yeah, I kind of wanted to give that nostalgia for that. So I'm excited to try that, and that's what I'm pairing with it, and I'm hoping it tastes good and my drink. So here we go. So you already
Oh,
lit up and stuff.
oh yeah. And I forgot to mention, my drink does have ginger slices in there as
Oh,
well. So, welcome, Bill. Good to see you guys. If you don't know Bill
yes.
Wade, go out and check out thenumber.com. Uh, I don't have my number in here. I've got it's packed somewhere.
I know. We're still
It's
in
packed
boxes.
some.
Please forgive us.
Oh my goodness. But go out and check out Mr. Bill Wade. He has the most awesome handcrafted numbers, with not one prong but two prongs, so you don't have to worry about the cigar spinning on you. And it's a very fine gauge on those prongs, so it doesn't damage your wrapper in when you go to use it either. So
Yeah.
really good product, good
and
friend.
you've and you've seen it. We've used it several times on the show. So I mean, if you look at our Facebooks, our Instagrams, you're gonna see it there. So check him out. Check him out. So yeah, I'm excited.
CWB80 is on as well. Welcome. Thank you. All right,
It's
let's.
Chris.
Oh, that's Chris. Hey, Chris. Thanks for joining up, buddy. Uh, let everybody know we got coming out. I mean, this is not an easy pairing to do.
No,
Cocktails are not easy pairings to do, and we've done the standard normal cocktail so many times. We've done, different styles of cocktails, especially red. But when you're bringing in fall flavors, when you're bringing in the fall flavors, which a lot of fall flavors is going to have lots of cinnamon, it's going to have a lot of your cooking spices. I mean, some of your fall flavors will be an allspice, in your drinks.
a
Your
nutmeg.
nutmegs. You're
Uh,
bringing in just bold, really bold
mhm.
flavors that are associated with the fall. That brings out another challenge. So you've got to have a cigar that's going to stand up to it. But we don't just take a pair on pairing based upon strength versus strength.
Right.
We go flavors and marry up those flavors. So challenging. I'm haven't started the pairing on this one yet, so I'm just getting to understand the cigar a little bit better
Yes.
before I start into it.
So you have more of a complex cigar, where mine is,
Yes.
more uh, simple. And I think it's like fine because like my drink is more simple. I wanted something that would kind of marry the flavors, but also bring out things. So that's why I kind of went with simple to simple. Um, and you went complex to complex.
Oh, I went
So
complex of complex. I,
y-
I went bold.
yeah, and then we have less love. Hello, hello, hello.
Hey,
So
Les.
yes. So I'm excited because like I really love fall, even though we don't really have a fall in Texas. I think this year we're actually having a fall. It's our first fall. You know, I'm
It,
gonna
it's
say.
a it's a it's a Texas fall. I mean,
Hmm.
it's getting down into our Texas fall weather. Where it's 74 degrees out right now.
Yeah.
So that's nice. I mean, we could be up in the north where it's like in the 30s right now.
So or
I,
like up in the northwest where it's snowing and cold. No, thank you.
okay, so right off the bat on this cigar, I mean the burn is a little wonky. on it,
Mhm.
which that's fine. It's a box press. You get that sometimes on box presses because it's a little bit more awkward to rotate them. On smaller rotates, you almost have to rotate, a full, you know, full
Mhm.
quarter turn. Um, but I'm getting coffee notes. I'm getting some black coffee with a tiny bit of hint of cream on it. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I expected to get that with a Honduran binder.
Yeah.
That cream with the Honduran binder
Right.
with a nicely fermented broadleaf in the wrapper, coffee, you know, a little bit of nutty, but not too overpowering nutty.
So like with mine, because it's San Andreas, I'm getting like a milk chocolate, not like a strong. Usually with San Andreas, you'll get like a coffee chocolate, and I think it's more of the milk chocolate is because not, I keep saying Nicaraguan, the Dominican is mellowing that espresso bean. Because normally you get an espresso bean from San Andreas,
Hmm.
but I think with this cigar, and the reason that it's not so full on those big old like what you would get in an espresso teeny, an espresso teeny. One of those drinks.
An espresso martini.
Yeah, because and that's what San Andreas reminds me of is that drink. If I had to put that wrapper as a drink, it would be that. And I don't think it's that because you have the Dominican just like mellowing it out, because you've got those earthy flavors. So I'm ready to drink. You already took your drink.
I did, and I never thought I would hear myself saying this, that a creaminess in an old fashioned is nice. And this is I'm enjoying this. Wow, this is good. The, neither flavor is overpowering, neither flavor is
Hmm.
really carrying other than the creaminess from the cigar
Hmm.
into the drink.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting that citrus, the drink. I'm getting all of those explosion of flavors with it's almost like if I had put, a half and half into the mixture.
Hmm. Mine was like that ginger was really strong, so I'm trying it again. And I'm tasting like there. I'm tasting. Ginger's a strong force. It's one of those strong flavors that you know, it doesn't wuss around, if you know what I mean. You can
Right.
always pick it out. You can always pick out when there's ginger in your food, in your drink, or whatever. But because of the apple cider, I'm really getting that. I'm getting that. It's just kind of like I'm not really picking up the cigar. It's more of like the drink. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's
Right, right, right.
I've lost the flavors of the cigar, to say to speak. Um, but I mean, I have a feeling as it goes on, it might be a little bit different. You know, and also it's like when you have a mule, you also have you chill it with ice cubes, like you use big ice cubes, right? And so and it tends to water down. So if you notice, and you always picture mules like the best way to drink a mule is in a copper cup. I mean, it's just
Oh,
to keep it
absolutely.
cold. Yeah. And there's something that the copper does with the vodka and the citrus of the fruits and vegetables or whatever you have in it, that it just like it keeps those flavors. You don't lose the flavors out. It's true to them, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes absolute sense, and there's a reason why in whiskey that a lot of, most distillers, when distilling whiskey, that they use copper pot stills.
Hmm.
and that's because the copper helps enhance, make those flavors from the whiskey
Mhm.
bolder. Well, when you've got a drink like a mule,
Mhm.
and since you're doing a vodka base, a Moscow
Mhm.
style mule
Mhm.
that doesn't have a lot of flavors in the
Mhm.
vodka itself, the copper keeps it cold, but the copper also
Mhm.
imparts other flavors into it to
Right.
enhance it. And it brings out that ginger, makes that ginger stronger,
Yeah.
makes that lemon, that citrus, that all is a part of
Mhm.
the must,
Yeah.
that's all a part of the mule, even more so.
Right. So it completely enhances, and that's the. I'm curious to see if I had been drinking this like out of a regular glass instead of a copper glass, what the difference would be, since it does enhance those flavors. And some people say, oh, you really don't need a copper to drink a mule. Well, anytime I've had a good meal, either I've made it or I've or had it at a restaurant, all the ones that I've enjoyed have always been out of the copper cup. The ones that have been so have been out of the glass.
Right. Yeah, I
So
mean, likewise, likewise.
yeah.
Um, I, I had one restaurant that offered me a mule that wasn't in a copper mug, and I sent it back. I was like, no, thank you. And they're like, why? You asked for a mule? I said, yeah, but it's not in a copper mule mug.
Right.
That's the improper way to drink it.
Hmm.
And my guest that was with me is like, well, she's like, well, you're being a snob. And I was like, no. I said, I'm
Mm-mm.
not. This is the way that you drink it, and there's reasons
Right.
why.
And and here's my thing, and like I'm like true authentic right here. And here's my thing. Anytime I make any drinks at home, you have your silver containers, your shakes or whatever. But I always use my copper one just because I really believe that that flavor is so much better.
I need
So,
to get one of those. I've got a copper
so
mug, but I don't have that.
right. So I have the shaker, the things to get the ice. Uh, I have I have an entire set, like the spoon and everything. And I was at a cocktail making class
We are
learning how to make.
having to.
Oh, is it? Is it? Yeah. Can you hear me now? So,
Yeah,
and
I can hear you. You kind of froze
okay.
for a second.
So, so I was at this class, right? A mixology class. And he said, if you're going to invest in bar materials, he's like, you need to get a copper shaker. He's like,
Right.
just get a copper shaker. So, I mean, and I have silver ones, not to say, I feel like it's starting to rain. I think
Starting to
it's raining.
rain.
Like, I think it's raining. Oh my
It's not
gosh.
supposed to rain. It's not supposed to rain, is it?
It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but I'm feeling
Yeah,
dry,
tomorrow,
and I
not
don't have my
today.
sprinkler system. I don't have my sprinkler system on.
What, you got a sprinkler system?
Yes.
So how is it going from drink to cigar?
I haven't tried that because I'm still trying to get this. I will say as I go along, because it's like I've been mixing it and everything. And for my decor at the top was the butter, and the butter's kind of settled and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's reminding me that I'm like sitting on a bale of hay at a campfire, in an apple orchard, orchid, orchard. I can't
Orchard.
speak today. Orchard. Thank you. See,
Orchid's a flower. Orchard is
I'm at
a
the
whole
tree
bunch of
farm.
trees.
Okay,
You're
I'm
at the
at the
tree
tree
farm.
farm.
Let's just talk Texan here, okay?
Y'all have to forgive me. I'm like, ever since I found out we were live, I'm just like blah 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 blah. But it's really nice. It's like they stand out each on its own. I mean, it's just it it's complimentary. But I'm ready to try it the other way. So you tell us how yours is. Why I do it the other way.
Well, well, I did something different here. So I took out the whiskey stones and I put in the ice ball. I had an ice ball on here.
Hmm.
So You can see the ice ball there. So everything else is the same, other than I've got a lot more drink.
Sorry.
I got to know what that face was in just a minute. That was almost like an O face. Uh, the ice ball made a difference.
Mhm.
Ice ball made the difference, where because I get out here a little bit earlier, so my whiskey stones probably just came a little bit more up to temperature.
Mhm.
Um, the ice ball has made a difference. Going from cigar to drink is just beautiful. Uh, Going from drink
What
to
about drink to?
cigar, the citrus carries through a little bit into the cigar, which is not bad, but it's almost like it's subduing those coffee notes.
Mine is mine's a fucking O.
I
That's
saw
all.
that O come.
Yeah, like I'm trying to get that flavor. It is like a mellow, um, it's a mellow sweetness, and it's gonna take me a minute to like figure out what it is. But first of all, I want to show my ash here. I
Yeah,
mean that
mine is having something like a Bride of Frankenstein type of.
like that is just like absolutely. And whenever it's got those little dots on the ash, like it's kind
Mhm.
of almost like plumy on
Mhm.
the ash. That's like the only way I know how to describe it, right? That's
Mhm.
what I have on my ash.
All right, I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a tangent because I've seen a lot of posts on different stuff, and I want to let this out and let this be known. Anybody who tells you that plume is mold, I'm sorry, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, plume is not mold. Plume is the crystallized
Crystallization.
oils. It's a crystallization of those oils. It looks completely different than what
Hmm.
mold does.
Oh my
Mold
gosh.
is actual mold spores on it. Plume, I can wipe off, no problem. It's not going to affect it any. Mold, I actually have to pick those mold spores out. Now, having been said, what most people see is mold
Right.
because everything has to be 100% perfect for those oils to crystallize.
Right. And here's my thing. Some people are like, "Oh, it's not going to be that." Like, okay, so when I was working at the cigar lounge, had someone come in and they're like, "You have moldy cigars," and I'm like, "No, that's plume." And I was explaining to them what plume was, and they're like, "No, there's no such thing." And on the internet, I read, and I'm like, "Okay, well, there's your first thing. Okay, don't trust the internet. Everything you read on the internet's not true." And so I explained to him what it was, and I said, if it's mold, I was like, if you wipe it off, stuff is going to be left behind, and it's going to be black. You're going to see black dots. When you remove the plume, there's nothing left behind. It's just like completely gone. It will glisten. From the crystallization, it will sparkle. But like someone said, well, it can't be perfect because at a cigar lounge, it's not in the perfect condition. It depends on where it's located in the cigar lounge, the humidity, and how it's hitting on it. And like
Hmm.
sometimes there's cigars that, you know, people aren't automatically, that's not their go to cigar. So it's passed over. So this one was people kept passing it over, and it was put on a taller shelf where most people probably couldn't see it. And um and then once I explained that to him, he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I was in there thinking that y'all had mold." No, if you wipe it and it leaves like a black streak or black dots behind, that's mold.
There's also a thing that's called humidification dust.
Yes,
And
you'll
humidification
see that a
dust
lot
is
too.
is you see that a lot of humidors, and that's completely different
Hmm.
than the others. So humidification dust just has to do with higher humidity in there and a little bit of a higher temperature in there. And so you'll see kind of like a dusty film
Hmm.
that is sitting on the cello. You'll
Right.
really see it on the cello. So it'd be like a
Yeah.
dusty film,
Mhm.
like a dull
Mhm.
gray light, very light tan, dull gray
Mhm.
type film on it. That's not mold either. It's not plume. It's humidification dust. So we're going to come back in just a minute and continue talking about these pairings. But right now, it is time for. All right, what do you got, Red?
Besides leaves falling upon me, did you see that? That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah, I know at the Underground this weekend at our home shop they are doing a Crown Heads event that is going on. That is happening, and I believe it's November the 11th. And I'm just gonna be honest. I forgot about news. I have news. I was excited about the news part, but as far as like events, we got underground, and I'll share that detail out later.
So and the
I
11th
need
is
to get my
also
life
the
together.
it's also the anniversary party as well on the 11th. Uh,
Yay! Because they've
the
been there
the
for a hot minute.
right. The one that I'm excited about is December 2nd, where Gabe and myself will be in Vegas at Whiskey Fest.
Thank you.
Put
I
on
knew I was getting something.
put on by Whiskey Advocate. So anybody going to Whiskey Fest in Vegas, please be sure to check us out. Gabe is one of our writers. He used to be one of the owners of 262 Cigars. He's one of our writers covering cigars for the Leaf and Grain Society, and he's also our. Folks, you have got a twisted pair show today. All right,
Oh my god.
news. Okay, so please go out to premiumcigars.org. Go out to premiumcigars.org and go to the news hub and check out. We a couple of weeks ago, actually it's been a couple of months ago, uh where the deeming that premium cigars was the same as cigarettes was shut down,
Mm-hmm.
was redacted, and the big danger that was placed on all cigars and especially new boutique cigars coming out, that was pushed down. Well, the FDA has filed another one with with the courts that all cigar flavorings, describing of flavorings, need to be removed. So what that is going to impact, and what that means is that cigars can't list any flavors on that. Where that's really is going to impact is your acids, is your javas. I mean, the different flavored cigars, and those flavored
Mm-hmm.
cigars, they're not artificial flavorings. They are actual flavorings that's
Flavors.
infused in the cigars.
Right.
And while we may not ourselves may not like it, that's not our palate, our preference. That is going to make a
Right.
big impact on the industry, and where it's going to impact is on the brick and mortars, because brick and
Right.
mortars sell a lot of those.
Right.
So we need people to go out there to write your senator. uh, let's get that removed, and let's get that remitted back to the FDA so that that's no longer a concern. In more news, we're going to jump over to the whiskey news. And if you're a bourbon hunter and you love to try to find the extremely hard to find expensive allocated bottles, well, Buffalo Trace just recently released back on October 9th their BTAC collection. So BTAC is Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. So this is Eagle Rare 17.
Oh
This
wow.
is this is W.L. LaRue uh, Weller. So
Hmm.
I mean, each of these bottles. This is Sazerac 18. This is George T. Stagg. These are all
It,
the very
this
hard
is
to
the
find.
good. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it like this. This is the really good shit that you want.
Yes, it is, and be ready
I'm gonna say it
to
like that.
be ready to
Spend some
spend this.
money. Drop some
Yes.
dough.
Now, if you really have some money that's just sitting around and you're wanting to spend it and you're wanting to spend it on something and all of the bourbon gods are in your corner, well, Buffalo Trace also released the first time ever Eagle Rare 25. This is a
Oh,
25-year Eagle Rare.
damn.
The
Yeah,
MSRP
I'm
on
now I'm kind
this,
of like nervous to hear about what this is.
$10,000 MSRP. But the bottle that is in, I mean, this is crystal. It's a crystal
Oh wow.
bottle.
Okay,
Presentation
so
of it is just absolutely unreal. They have never released anything. I mean,
let
the double Eagle Rare was normally is I believe is a 20-year. This is the oldest that they've ever done.
so wow. That's pretty impressive. Well, and I have cigar news that I would like to mention that's out there,
Please.
which I think is really cool. So one of my go-to cigars that one of my favorites brands out there is Black Label. You know,
Hmm.
Black Works, Black Label Trading Company. It is their 10th year anniversary. So to commemorate that, James and Angela have put together a box of every cigar that they have ever produced within the 10 years that they've been open. So it's got like your Bishop's Blend, it's got your Madonna and the Negro, it's got your Porcelain, it's got your, you know, the ones that they first came out, your Sinistro, your late, your limited releases. And so that was released today. And so it's very cool because it's like their 10-year anniversary. And I think it's really neat how they brought a cigar they brought out every cigar that they've done
She will
and
be right back.
created
Right?
between them. So it's like, and it's, of course, it's got the skull on it, the very cool and all the
Yes.
beautiful logos on it. And so that news was released today. And there's certain select retailers that are carrying that. I will tell you, there's only a limited amount of boxes. Those will sell out quick, quick, quick because
If
they're
they're not
fans.
already, if
If
they're
they're
not
not already
already,
sold out
if they're,
today,
and
yeah,
it's called the anthology. We got that
yeah,
press release in today. I
yeah.
just
I
not
was
have
gonna
not
say
had time to post it yet. So that's going up on our
that,
website
that's
tomorrow.
tomorrow. But it is like she released it, like they posted it and stuff. So that is just like, for all the, like, the black sheep is what they call the people who love Black Label. Because they're like, they're black sheep, they're followers and all this stuff. So I'm happy for them because they are good personal friends of ours and just amazing people. And for 10 years, in a factory, when people thought that they were crazy for doing it and starting it, I just think it's a beautiful tribute. And uh, and here's the cool thing is he designs all the graphics. Like, he does all of his own graphics and draws it out, and old school stuff like that. And he's actually a wine sommelier. He's a master wine sommelier. So if you ever look at his pairings, like, totally do whatever his pairings are, because his pairings are going to knock it out of the park because he knows what he's talking about.
Yes, he
So
does. And more in cigar news. This one I'm kind of excited about. I think it's a really bold move by Eric Bay at Black Star Line, and we published this the other night. They are shutting down their online store. You will only be able to buy their cigars, Black Star Line cigars, moving
mhm.
forward, from now moving forward on, from brick and mortars. Now they're not shutting down brick and mortars from being able to sell through their
Right.
own online, but you're not going to be able to go and buy from Black Star Shop anymore, which is a bold move.
Huge. Yeah.
What that means for them is that they've established themselves in the industry now that they've got enough B&M locations to be able to support their business, and that kicks ass.
Yes. And like, here's my thing is, Eric, like with them, like it couldn't happen to like better people. It's just they're very awesome, down to earth, very cool people, lovely people, and they extremely passionate about it. And they actually even did a cigar with Black Label Trading Company. With James
Yes,
and Angela. So I mean, you got to check it. It's a phenomenal cigar, so you need to check it out. It's really, really good if you haven't had it. So that is, and
I
next
got
week
I
I
got
promise I will get my shit together.
get it together because next week, I think the following week is when is I mean we're getting close to heading out. I got one more, and
Okay.
this one's kind of saddens my heart a little bit. But it just goes to show how volatile this industry is across, whether we're talking about cigars, we're talking about whiskeys, we're talking about wines. I mean, it impacts coffees and teas, and that is Mother Nature. The environment impacts so much.
Oh yeah.
And what I'm talking about here is that in the wine industry, because of the droughts, because of the rains, because
Mhm.
of the freezes,
Yeah.
that we are seeing a yield that is going to be low.
Mhm.
It's going to be the lowest yield that we have seen in 62 years.
Damn. Mother Nature is like
Mother Nature
getting spicy.
is hitting hard.
She's being
Uh,
a bitch.
yield is down 14% in Spain and 12% in Italy, and this is the European yield. I haven't seen numbers on the the United States yield
But
yet on
it's
that.
hit it.
But yeah, you know it's in it because I mean we had a massive amount of drought out in California, and then all of a sudden the rains, and they had rains galore,
Then it
which
flooded.
they needed. They
Yeah, but then the
needed,
fires
but
came.
then the fires came. So all of that impacts. Now
Yeah.
the good news is that none of the weather impacted France. So now for the first time ever,
France is
France
like,
France is
ha ha
producing
ha.
more than Italy, which Italy had been the run of it. So all of that. There is your news and events. If you guys have any news, any events going on, let us know. Send it to media@leafandgrainsociety.com. Let us know what you got going on. We want to let people know about you. I don't
Look,
know why you have to mute your mic going in when any other video we do, both of our mics get muted, but on the news and events, every single time you have to mute.
I know, and it's like it's sad because I want to hear it, so I have to unmute myself. So, it just goes with how I'm going tonight. I'm here. I made it. I showed up. That counts
We
for
did.
something.
Yes it does. Everything counts for something, and this one counts for something good.
So I
Um,
know I want to talk about my thing because I said, remember, I was like, oh my gosh, from drink to cigar, it is
yes,
phenomenal. So and I was like, I don't know what that flavor is. I don't know what it is. So it like my aunt was the greatest baker in the whole wide world. I can't bake to save my soul. Like if I have to bake cookies, brownies, or whatever, I just don't because it's gonna burn, and so I just get them from the store or whatever. I have someone else bake them, right? It
hmm
is like she used to make this homemade apple baked cinnamon pie.
Okay. Okay. Don't stop. I mean, I'm starting to
Yeah,
levitate here.
and
Don't stop. Keep on.
it had, it had that, the apple and the cinnamon and the sugar. But here's the thing: is I think whenever we talk about pies, we talk about like the sweetness and everything. But one of the best things, she made homemade crust. I don't know what she did to her crust, what she like did it, but just like the sweetness of the crust, like I could just like eat the crust and forget about the pie. That, I mean, that's how good it was, because it had that, it was like that yeast, but it was like that sweet dulce, kind of like the sweet
Yes.
dulce bread. That is what I get from whenever I have drink to cigar, is that sweet cinnamon apple pie that she would make whenever we'd go down there for Thanksgiving and stuff. So I mean, it's delicious. So
Very
that's what
good.
I, and it's just like the cigar, because, and I'm gonna tell you, because it's got that, it's almost got to have, it's like that creaminess, because like in apple pies you do have a certain creaminess if you use like she made everything homemade. It was never, from a can or anything like that. Like she canned her own apples, she canned her own stuff, and that's what it is. And like those have like a natural cream. Do you know what I'm talking about when it's like
Oh,
when
I
you
know
can it yourself?
exactly. Yeah.
It's like a creamy sweetness from those juices, right? And that is what I got from drink to that, because it's like I taste. I mean, it was just straight up that sweet pie that she made. So
That's awesome. I love that. Love that.
yeah.
And that butter that
Hmm.
that I'm sure she used. That my grandma used, my mother used it because my mother is a phenomenal baker as well. That buttery creaminess comes into it.
Yeah.
And didn't you say that you had a butter topping on yours?
I had like apple butter, you know,
Apple
and
butter,
that's
yeah.
the thing. And I don't want people, whenever you make cocktails, I don't want you to be scared to use like actual pie filling or jelly or jam, because a lot of us don't think about that. We look at that and we're like, that's effing weird. Like, I think like there's one is I really love pumpkin pie. One of my favorite cigars is DC, our DC guys, when they have like the
Hmm.
red cigar, which is one of your favorites, and you pair that with a pumpkin pie, from cigar to pie to cigar, it doesn't matter either way. It is like phenomenal. Like, I mean, you can't go wrong. So there is a pumpkin pie mule recipe that I came across. And I want to have to tweak it. I'm going to have to tweak it because I want to make it my own. I want to kind of do my own thing, twist to it. But I'm going. That's my next cocktail, because I was like, huh. Well, but here was the thing. I saw it in a martini. I saw a pumpkin pie martini, is what it was, and I'm
What
like,
is it with what is it with this pumpkin pie everything? I mean, I don't get it. I do not get it. I
Are
like
you not a fan of pumpkin pie? Jump
no,
on the white girl train.
no. The only part that I resemble in what you said is the white. I mean, it's obvious. I've got the white here. But no, I'm not a pumpkin fan. I
Okay,
like one pumpkin pie, and I will never get it again. And that is my ex-wife's pumpkin pie. And I don't think I can call her up and say, "Hey, Robin, could you just make me a pumpkin pie?"
I don't know. She might. She might. You never know. Depends on what
I
mood.
mean, I could tell her
But
make it
I,
for John.
but I will tell you this: like like as I told you, I don't bake, because like in baking you have to be precise. I am not a precise person. Like when it comes to me, like, you know, smoking out like like smoking turkey, or doing my burnt ends, or even cooking in the kitchen. Like, anytime I cook, I don't follow a recipe. I just like, okay, that looks good from a recipe, and I put like two or three recipes together because you've known me forever. And I'm like, you'll ask me, what did you do in that drink? I don't fucking know. I just put shit together. Like I'm like the worst person. Like, how did you make that? I don't fucking know. I just put shit together, and whatever tastes good is what I do. And that's why I can't bake, because when you bake, you have to be very, very precise. But my daughter, she can make the best pumpkin pie, like her pumpkin pie, and then my best friend. But see, the thing is like I rebelled, and I didn't want to be that white girl who liked, like, oh, let me wear my Uggs and my little flannel and my Han Solo jacket and have pumpkin things. But you know what got me started on this pumpkin stuff was freaking beer, pumpkin beer.
you're
Like,
you're on. It's almost like you're on your pumpkin soapbox right now. I
I
mean,
am. And I understand why the
ladies
white
and
girls
gentlemen,
like it.
Red likes her pumpkin. Let's take a break just for a minute and let's just say hi, Tiffany. It's good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. We've also got the Texas Whiskey Wrangler, John Parker.
Woo-woo.
He says that he loves his definition solidarity, and yes, I mean that
And he
is.
probably likes his pumpkin pie too.
Well, I don't know if I might have to take his Texas Whiskey Wrangler card away from him if he
No,
does.
I
And
will
and we've got
reinstate it.
we've got a Jake Smith, howdy from Dallas.
Hi,
So
Jake.
welcome, Jake.
Thanks for
So glad
joining
you could
us.
join us. So this is what's really exciting. Okay, so I got my cigar to where it's got a little bit of canoeing, but that's on me. Um, it's burning better. Was able to work with it. I didn't give up on it. I stuck out with it. And this pairing going from because I've got a better smoke now, better body of smoke, amount of smoke coming from the burn, going from drink to cigar, it's like okay, so I get like a rugged leather note on the outside, but as I'm drawn in, it's almost like there's a funnel of a sweet, citrusy, but still leather note
Hmm.
on it. It's almost like you've got the tea leathers here, and then coming in right here is like this funnel of just crisp sweetness. It's
So, one thing
okay.
I
So John says no pumpkin pie, shaking his
yeah,
head.
whatever. You know what, John? I might have to unfriend you on that one.
Then you'd
So,
have to unfriend me too.
yeah, I guess I'll just have to like put up with you boys. But one thing I like about whenever you garnish, like if you look into my drink, like you will see, like, oh shoot, I spilt it out. You'll see a ton of apples in there. That makes me sad. Like all my little, you know, I just lost some sip. But you can pick up and eat, and like I do this, and I know it's not like polite and good etiquette, but I will pick up my fruit, you know, and eat it and try my cigar with it. And
There's
so I
nothing
just,
wrong with that.
yeah. Well, some people say it's like a lady shouldn't do that. Well, first of all, a lot of people tell me a lady doesn't smoke cigars, and I'm just like, F y'all. But anyway,
Bullshit.
so here's my thing is when I did the apple, like, you know how apples have that earthy taste to it? It's kind of like
Yeah.
like that outdoorsy, thing to it. I could pick up more of that, like, in like some Dominican, you've got that hay, right?
Hmm.
You have that sweet hay. Well, when I did that, the sweetness of the hay was just absolutely remarkable and beautiful. And I'm going to tell you, I think, like, you know how I had my oh moment? I was like, oh, like,
If you miss it, you gotta you gotta replay that face. Replay the face, because you were sitting way back, and I'm sitting there talking, and all of a sudden I see this face come out, and I paused. You remember I paused for a
Yeah, I
minute,
was
and I
like,
looked right
oh,
at you, and it's like, oh, I'm just thinking in my mind, oh, there's the face.
there, yeah, and so it like it wasn't as good as that, but it was freaking phenomenal. So I want to challenge us to something
Uh
next
oh.
week.
Okay.
I want to like I'm very limited because I have a like as a lot of y'all know, I have a latex allergy. And a lot of fruits and vegetables are made of latex. They have natural latex in them. But I would love for us to do fruit in a cigar. We fucking have never done it.
We've never done it. No,
A
we've
fruit
done a
and
charcuterie, but we've never done
right.
specifically
But we've
fruit.
we've never done specifically fruit. But like if you think about it, all of our drinks, a lot of our drinks, our cocktails, we garnish them with fruit. A lot of our cigars have those like apple, they have the stone fruits, the cherries, they might have like bananas, or they even can have like a fig to it. I would love us to do like fall fruits or whatever kind of fruit that makes you happy. You know, I'm limited in my fruits, so
Right.
I know
Well,
what I'll be able to do.
I'm
You're
limited
limited too,
too.
but I think that would be interesting because, like, let me tell you, like with our sangrias, whenever I did the fruit to cigar, I was like blown away. But I've never just sat there and done fruit with cigars unless I'm drinking.
No, I mean, not on a specific pairing. I've done fruits and
No,
cigars a number of times, but never on a specific pairing. So, okay, so we'll do that.
but
But, I'm not going to say but, I'm going to say, what I would like to do, where the hell are those balloons coming from?
no freaking idea.
That's twice. Um, after Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
after Thanksgiving, I want to do a triple pairing. I want
Talk to me,
to do
puppy.
I want to do a red wine, a bold red wine. So, not a Merlot, a Malbec, a Pinot. I mean,
You're gonna have to
I'm
tell me. You're
talking
gonna
a
have to tell me, like,
GSM, a
okay, here are
Bordeaux.
some choices for you, Red. You're gonna have to give me choices.
Yes, okay, with
Okay.
a variety of olives.
I don't like olives. I only like. Here's the thing: is like I hate olives. But what is my favorite go-to snack? Blue cheese stuffed olives.
Blue blue cheese stuffed olives. Okay.
I
So
I
so
know it's
may
if I do something like that, and here's my thing: I'm not saying that I refuse the olives, but I'm going to have them stuffed or like it's gonna have to be. I don't know why I don't like
Red,
olives.
do I have to remind you of what our motto is? What is our tagline?
I'm exploring the pairing. Okay, I'm choosing to get stuffed olives, not just like. Do
One
you
of
want to
those
see me gag? Do you want to see me
what
gag and get sick?
that this is why I'm saying pairing them with the wine and a cigar, because I went to a wine tasting a couple of weeks ago,
And that's what y'all
and
did. So
well,
you already know how it plays out.
we didn't have the cigar, but
Oh,
there was this purple, little tiny purple olive,
no, the purple olives are good.
and that with this it was a I want to say it was a Peruvian wine, a Peruvian red wine, was just absolutely phenomenal. Paired those two together, and I said right then and there, as the level 3, level 4 wine sommelier, she's like, it's like, this and this and this and this, and I paired those two together. I just was like, wow. Pause for a minute. She goes, what? And I said, that olive with this wine just was out of this world. She goes,
Okay.
I don't see it. And
Okay.
then I said, I want to do this with a cigar.
Okay.
So
I will do it, but I'm gonna need some guidance. I was hoping you would sit there and say a Thanksgiving meal, you know. But okay, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out what Texas whiskey Wrangler is pairing.
so he's saying he's drinking a 1792 bottled in bond.
Okay.
That's what the bib is, bottled in bond. He's just drinking a 1792 bottled in
No,
bond.
no cigar. It's okay.
No,
We still love you.
no cigar.
We still love
We
you.
still love it. I,
Why are there balloons going up in my background? One just
that
went
was
up.
that was hearts. Those were
Oh,
hearts.
those were hearts.
Those were hearts.
I don't know. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I don't know why. It's being crazy, y'all. I don't. I guess it's because the Texas. Okay, I just want to take a minute. Can I just have my moment here? And I'm totally up for the challenge. I will do it, even though I don't like olives. And I said I didn't like tequila, and I like the tequila, right? So I will totally do it. 100% on board with it, right? But I just want to take a moment, and I just kind of want to just give a shout out to my boys, because a lot of y'all think that I'm a huge Cowboy fan. I love my Cowboys, but I am a die-hard Ranger fan. Like, like everybody's asking me like when I'm gonna get my Rangers, Texas Rangers tattoo. Like they would have sworn that was the first tattoo, because I've been to several hundreds of games like at the ballpark. Like there was one time when I had to take early retirement medical leave, and seriously, I went to the ballpark every single day. So I just want to give a shout out to my boys and just like yay, because um and I'm gonna get sentimental here for a minute. And when I was young and I was living in a group home, like an orphanage, the Texas Rangers came out and actually played catch and baseball and softball with us. Okay. Then they invited us to a game. We went to a game. And this is back at the old stadium where the wooden benches were there. It was all outside. It was before
Hmm.
Glow Park. It was before the indoor and before Glow Park. So it was like the old when benches were falling apart and everything. And they kept coming back to that place. And that is why I played softball. So I started playing softball in sixth grade. You know, my parents adopted me and everything. uh, when it came to middle school, they were like, "What sport do you want to play?" I actually tried out for softball. I got onto a high
She's
school
frozen.
soft. Oh, I'm frozen. Am I back? Am
No,
I back?
you're back. You're back.
Okay. So I
You're back.
actually started playing softball, and I met Pudge. I met Nolan. I have, just a ton of memories. So that is part of the reason why I'm such a diehard Texas Ranger fan. And it's so I've been watching them for 40 something years, praying to the baseball gods that they would actually win. Went to the World Series when it first came, when we first had it. Didn't happen, and I blamed Cruz, and I said lots of naughty words and everything. And this time, the
Wait,
season,
you blamed Nelson.
it was his
You
fucking
blamed
fault, and we
Chris.
all know it. We all know it, motherfucker. Anyway, and actually, like where I grew up, where my parents grew up, we had actually several neighbors of ours were actually played for the Rangers. Um, so uh, I was excited, even though it's not the ones that I've known and I've grown up with. I'm just like super excited and so proud because they were the underdog and people didn't think they could do it. So I just have to give my shout out to that. So I'm done off my soapboard. My, but yay, because
Are,
the Rangers.
are you ready for the final verdict?
Yes,
Are you guys ready for the final verdict? Do you want to hear our thoughts on this pair? Well, if you're not ready, too bad.
does that.
I gotta say, I think the fact that I filled this up a third time kind of says what I think about this pairing.
I
mean,
just want your
I just gotta
drink.
say,
I just like, I'm just going to have to drive over there and get your drink. That's all I'm saying. I need to clock how
ah,
far you live from me. I haven't done that yet. But anyway, what is your.
anyways, okay, I've been a Partagas fan forever.
Yeah.
Partagas Series D #2 and #3, if you can find it. I mean, the number two, if you can find it, you're going to be paying a lot of money. It's one of my forever favorite cigars. So when
Hmm.
I got this cigar, I was, it's like, okay, I'm really hoping that this is going. The flavor on this cigar is so good. I mean, it is high quality in flavor. Construction has a little bit to be desired on it, but the flavor on it, this is such a good cigar. Complexes from, coffees and leather and nuts and creaminess. I mean, it's just and the interesting thing is that, and this is the same with a lot of Cuban cigars and Dominican cigars that originated in Cuba, is that there's no transitions. It's consistent all the way throughout.
Hmm.
So those notes carried all the way throughout. And I love my transitions, but I love this in a cigar. Uh, the
It's
pairing
good for a
on this,
cocktail.
oh my goodness, it is because complex flavors on both sides with the cocktail and with the cigar. I mean, and I even brought out another cigar, the Arrival, just in case. And oh yeah, I mean, this pairing, this cocktail with a bold cigar like this, hands down, I would do it again without even thinking.
Um, Now you're seeing that I'm making weird faces because I'm in the final third. And here's my thing: is cocktails, and this is what I'm gonna say. Cocktails, you know, usually whenever you have a cocktail, it can be a very complex drink because you have different flavors and there's something. I mean, it depends on what the cocktail and whatever. So, like, I did a pretty chill cocktail. I could have added lime. I could have added rosemary. I think rosemary would have been interesting to add to this. I really wanted to add cranberry. I really wanted to add. Yeah, I saw your rosemary. I
Oh,
really wanted to
cranberry
add
would
like
be
a
interesting.
cranberry, unit to it. Um, but I couldn't. I was like, I'm not really down for that. I was like, I just want my, apple cider because I love apple pie, like that whole thing. Cigar to drink. Um, it's pretty chill. I mean, I tasted cigar. I mean, it wasn't negative on either one. It was in. Then in the second transition, and then when I went to drink, and it was even in the first. So drink to cigar was like out of this world. Oh, like big O. I was like, woo.
Hmm.
Now I'm at the final third, and the cigar is picking up those coffee beans. Remember, like as like
Hmm.
sometimes in San Andreas. So now, usually when we get into the final third, your cigar picks up. You get more out of it because you don't have such a long draw. You don't because it's shorter. So usually when you have a shorter cigar, you'll get more of the flavor, if that makes sense.
Right, right, right.
And we never really talk about that. So with that, I'm picking more of up the espresso beans. With what we get with the San Andreas.
Yeah.
And when I went to drink to cigar, it was like bitter beer face. It was like,
I
ugh.
saw that. I was
Yeah.
like, I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either because I was thinking, okay, it's going to be really good or whatever. Um, Cigar to the drink at the final. I mean, thank goodness for the ginger because the ginger and the espresso, like the coffee beans, like for the San Andreas, it's really good. But if you have the ginger to the cigar, it's too tart. It's like one of those, like, you know, those tart candies,
Yeah.
sweet tarts. I'm
Yes,
not a
yes,
big,
yes, yes.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of sweet tarts. That's what it tastes like. So if you like sweet tarts, knock yourself out. But if you're not a fan of sweet tarts, then don't do it. So did I pick the best pairing? I feel like if I had done like an Honduras Dominican, I almost went with a Cavalier. I almost went with Cavalier.
The Cavalier Black too.
No, no, the Cavalier Hava.
Oh, the Hava. Yeah,
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 almost,
yeah.
and it's kind of like I almost went with that, but I wanted to live life on the edge because I was curious to see how this San Andreas would be, because you never know how San Andreas is going to be. Sometimes it's going to be like really really good, right? And with our drinks, and then sometimes it's not what we thought, you know. So
Well, especially when we get with the San Andreas, because when you get in back into that final third, that's when
yeah,
those espresso beans are really started coming up,
yeah,
and espresso beans by themselves, are going to be, have a bitter kick to them.
yeah.
And then when you mix in that pepper in there with that, I can actually see where that ginger could create, because the ginger is tart by
The ginger
itself.
is tart. Yeah.
That that is going to just enhance that bitterness. Um, that that that's interesting. I want to try this drink with a San Andres. I I
Hmm.
I'm curious as to how, maybe with a San Andres, maybe with a Cameroon, where you're bringing out those stronger, bold, intense coffee notes, those stronger, bold, intense cop,
It,
the the more in your face notes, because this is not
right.
an in your face cigar.
No, it's not. It's a chill cigar. You have like
It's complex in flavors,
it's
but
complex, but it's also chill. It's
but
one
the
of those
intensity.
versatile cigars that's going to go. It's very complimentary. It's very good with everything. But the thing I'll tell you what's saving the in the end, what's saving it at the very end when I go drink to cigar is that apple butter.
I can see that because that apple butter is going to bring out that
Bring
that creaminess and
right.
maybe tone down that
So
bitterness of it.
right. So when I'm swishing it, because y'all see me swish it, and the reason is I just want to make sure because the apple butter is heavy, so it settles at the bottom of the copper mug. You know, let's think gravity. We're gonna have a science
Yeah.
lesson here. Okay. So you've got the apple butter. It's
She,
very
she's
very
she's frozen
strong.
again. There
I'm
she is.
frozen. Okay. So the apple butter is very very strong.
You're
And am I frozen again?
you're not frozen, but your
Okay.
your voice is ahead of the actual video.
Gosh.
It,
Oh
it's
my
it's almost like this is it's almost like it's a Japanese kung fu movie.
Y'all are
All
just
right,
thinking, like, yeah. Am I good now? So, like, and the
you're
reason, like,
gonna well, but wait hold on, because this fits so perfectly with what Bill said. I think Ash has had something else this evening, and that is what's throwing off her pairing. And
no,
then he follows up with that also explains the mystery balloons in our hearts and the feet this evening.
like, I have no idea what's going on. It is like, you know, and y'all are gonna have to work with me as I figure out the kinks in the new house and the new location. Um, but like the balloons and the hearts was just really, really weird. But I think with the apple butter, like if I had not had the apple butter and as I keep mixing it, um, I think the pairing would have been like crap. I mean, to be honest,
Yeah,
I
I
think
can
that
see that.
I think that the apple butter has saved it. But to me, it's the highlight has been drink to a cigar. Would I probably do it again? Probably not. And it's no discredit to the cigar because this is one of my favorite cigars. I bought 20 of these cigars.
That
That
cigar is an exceptional cigar too.
right.
And what I mean, if you haven't tried any of Adventura's cigars, you're missing out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we can get him on the show sometime soon,
Yeah.
because he is such a
He,
great
he, he
person.
he's awesome. He's fun. He's fun to hang out with. Just a really cool dude. So, I think, uh, I really, I'm curious to see, I would, because I've had this cigar with rye, whiskeys, bourbons, all that. And I've always enjoyed it with those. Uh, and I've also enjoyed it with the stout.
I've enjoyed it with a black coffee too, and you know how often
Yeah,
I drink
yeah,
black coffee.
yeah. And that was, and that was like another thing I was gonna say is black coffee is phenomenal. Even creamed coffee is very good with the cigar. So I just think that with this cocktail, was it bad and miserable and did I hate it? No, because I had some moments where I was like, whoo, and I hadn't had those moments in a while.
Okay, so just to kind of close up this segment of this show, I was smoking the Partagas Legend Leandra, which is a Connecticut broadleaf, nicely fermented. Also with a Honduran binder and Dominican fillers, and pairing it with a honey spiced old fashioned. And Red was pairing a Adventura. Which Adventura is that one
It's
again?
the Barbosa, and I did
Yes,
it
that
upside down. The Barbosa
with
Adventure
a mule.
with a apple cider butter mule. I guess that's what I need to call. Well, I don't know what to call it because I had apple cider, I had apple butter.
I I'd call it the apple butter cider mule.
There you
And
go.
and and I'm not even gonna ask you for the recipe, because this would make like recipe number 5 that I was asking you for, because you've come up with some great recipes, and I want to post them on our website so that all of our viewers can go out and try these themselves. But I will tell you that I will be posting my recipe tomorrow,
Okay.
so that you can see it.
I can.
Don't
Okay.
count. I mean,
Here's the thing. I can
we're gonna give
actually.
her a break. It's not like you don't have a lot to do,
Yeah,
you know.
it had like I moved and everything. But here's the thing. I can tell you the equal parts. That's the good thing. I can
Write
actually
it
tell
down and
you.
send it to me. I will
Okay,
post it.
I will do that. I will write it down and send it to you because I actually this time I measured.
But did you take any pictures? Red.
I
See,
was
I
trying to I was trying to get my life together. And I didn't get it together because look at me. I mean, I'm just so hot. Bill, Bill, really?
no.
I moved. I normally don't give excuses. I normally don't. But
we're,
I
we're
will tell
gonna
you straight up. I
we're
will
gonna
tell
give
you.
you grace. We're
Yeah,
gonna give you
give me
grace.
grace. But I can take pictures. I can make this again, and I will take pictures, and I will send you the recipe so that way you can. And I'll tell you how I did it.
Do that. Okay. I'm not gonna show the final verdict video again. We've gone way over. I got a soapbox I got to get on.
Uh, what's your soapbox? Well, and I just want to say I'm glad that you addressed the plume because I have been seeing that blow up everywhere all over
I
Facebook. And I'm
I've
like
I've
so
seen
effing
it.
tired of it. Okay, so
Uh,
what's your soapbox? I want to get on your soapbox. Let's go.
okay, so some of y'all who are on Facebook, you saw my post early this morning, which was at like 3 o'clock this morning, and
Oh, I
then
didn't see it. Shit.
and then my follow up one. I had a number of people reach out to me to see if I was okay, and I
Shit, now I
appreciate
feel
this.
bad like a bad business partner and business wife.
So
I failed. I apologize.
I saw a post that really hit me wrong. And the post went down, and the person who posted it, I'm not going to mention names, the and most of y'all probably won't know, but the person who posted it, this was an image of the list of chores and the number of hours that women focus on those chores in the household and the number of hours that men focus on the different chores. And it was
Ooh,
about supporting women, where men don't step up and help out their wives, which is a problem. Let me say that out right now.
yeah,
That is a problem. That is a problem.
it is.
Hear me out.
But I want to hear your side because I know you're not like, and I'm going to say this. Most of my guy friends that I know and I choose to hang out with, and I don't know, are not like that because they step up and they help their wives.
So the
So,
intent of the poster was to raise awareness in men to do more, to do their part. So my comment on that was we've got to stop the division between husbands and wives, between men and women. And
yeah,
this post is not helping that. And you can tell how the post wasn't helping that because if you look down through it, and at the time that I did this, there's about 20 comments, and there's now 140 plus comments where all of
damn.
the women are saying, are just hating on men.
No.
And so my comment was my original comment was we need to stop the division.
Yeah.
It is a you know we're supposed to be partners with each other. We're supposed to be a team with each other. And I came out and I said, you know, good men do a lot of things. A lot of times, in a traditional family, where the woman is the homemaker, the men are out working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, come home, we want to sit down, we want to take a break, we don't think about that kind of stuff, but we do the yard work. We're the ones that's getting up on the roof, cleaning the gutters, before
Mowing
rain.
the
We're the
lawns,
mowing
like
the
doing that
lawns,
shit that
fixing
I
the
don't want to do.
cars, doing those other
Yeah.
types of things. And I came back and I said, we got to look at the different sides on this. And I stated right off the bat that just like I did right now, that yes, this is a problem. It absolutely is a problem and one that needs to be addressed, but this is not addressing the problem. It's not creating the conversation to address the problem, which the
It's
problem
more like
is a
bashing. It's
division
not. It's
between
not
men and
open.
women
Yeah.
in a
It's
relationship.
yeah.
Oh my
Did you
Lord.
get your ass handed to you by some of
I
these women?
got my ass handed to me in multiple ways. And then I woke up, and I'm just like, my follow-up post of it was, okay, I caused a riff in here. I apologize. I, wrong
Which that was
time, wrong
nice of
channel,
you, because I wouldn't have done
wrong,
that.
yeah, wrong time, wrong channel. Well, this other woman, she came on and she posted and she said, I send those babies back to their mother for future training because I'm not going to train a man. Well, one, I have a problem with that. I don't need to be trained. Men don't need to be trained. Women don't need to be trained. If I said that, I'm going to send her back to her dad because she needs to be trained on how to be a good wife, I
That
I would
oh,
be
you would have been like crucified. You would have
I
been
would be
upside down. You would have been
I
Peter.
I yes. Okay.
You'd have been Peter.
So
Okay,
one
Peter.
that there's not equality on what we're allowed to say.
No.
Men are not allowed to say particular things, and I saw, and I just exemplified that big time.
Yeah.
But where it got even worse, and I said, I'm sorry that that you have had to go through this situation. This is not right. Not all men are that way. Not all women are that way. This needs to be fixed. This is a problem that needs to be. I got called a gaslighter. I got called a fucking tool. I got called. I was told that I needed to go back to my mother so that my soft balls could be hardened.
Okay, so
And those are the nicer ones that I got called through this.
okay,
So that was
so
this morning.
here's what I'm gonna say, and this is what this is what I've always said. When you choose to be out there and you put your opinion, you've got to always remember that those people don't know you. Those
Oh
people
yeah,
don't know who you are. So you can't, and it's hard not to take it personal, but you are going to take it personal because you're trying to you were sitting there trying to educate. So it's kind of ironic that you're saying this because I was having a conversation with my daughter's father this morning, and I'm going to tell you that because my daughter, is a stay-at-home mother. Her husband goes and works 40 hours, no more than 40 hours a week. Comes home, he expects her to cook. He takes off his shoes. He expects her to put her shoes up. He doesn't help. He doesn't help with the baby. He expects me to take the baby to do shit after I've worked 14 hours a day. So I told him, I said, it, in this house, if you are going to be in this house, you have to give, yes, you work, but you also have to help out. You know, that's the thing is like, I don't put up with this male macho shit and this female whatever, like, because even when I stayed at home with my children, I expected whenever their dad, he worked, and I, like, when he came home from work, dinner was on the table. Dinner was on the table, all that shit. The house was clean, all that shit, right? Because I was a stay at home mom for a while. But when I worked, I chose to work, right?
hmm
I expected 50, like, 50-50. We were doing this shit together, right? You do your shit, I'll do my shit, and we'll work together, right? But like with this is like when you have a little tiny baby, you can't hold that baby and cook at the same time.
no,
You
no.
have to have help. And
And
that's where I'm going with, like, my son-in-law. I was like, mijo, because a lot of times when I have to get something across to him, I have to do it in Spanish and not in English. And I explained to him, I said, she stays at home. She doesn't have that opportunity to go out and do things and get that interaction like you do. Yes, she appreciates that you work, but you also have to appreciate that she's working at home.
she's working at home. But
Yeah,
here's where I'm getting at. Okay,
right.
I hope and pray that if I'm at a point, because I like what Ogart here says. He says it's a partnership, and it is.
It is. It's a
I
hundred
hope
percent
that
partner.
if I have a day where I'm only able to do 20%, I'm
Exactly.
physically, emotionally, mentally able to do 20%, that my partner's going to step up and do 80%. Because I guarantee you that if she's ever to the point where she's only able to do, oh, that's Yogi. If he's only able to do 20, she's only able to do 20%, I'm going to step up and do 80%. In fact, in my
Yeah.
household, you can ask the kids. I mean, you know my
It,
kids. My rule in my
yeah.
household is that if mom was up working, because she went to school full time, the majority of our relationship.
Right.
If she's up working, nobody is sitting on their ass, including
Right.
myself. We're all up
Right.
there helping. And I didn't make that rule about myself. The problem was on this is that and trust me, my feelings weren't hurt. Yes, it affected me for about an hour or two, and then I was done. I was over it.
Hmm.
We we are in such a divisive society.
Yeah.
And
I agree with that.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, and here's my soapbox. Okay? Love and hatred cannot coexist in the same
No.
spot. Cannot
Can't.
coexist in the same place. And the only way to get rid of hatred is to combat it with its opposite of love. So it's
Right.
just like, I mean, if I was to turn my ring light out right now, you guys wouldn't be able to see me because it's dark. The only way to
Right.
penetrate darkness is with light. The only way to
Right.
penetrate hatred is
Is with
with
love.
love. And
Right.
there was zero of that. I never said that men are doing their part. There's a lot of men that don't do their
There's
part. There's
yeah,
a lot
but
of
there's
women that
more
don't
men
do.
I think that do their part, and here and I want to get on here is I am so glad. This sounds so bad, and I'm gonna say, and it's vulgar and whatever. I am so glad that I was born with a vagina, and that and I identify as a female. I know I'm a female. I love being a woman. I love it because I have the best of both worlds. Because I can go out and I can provide for my family. I can make the same salary as what a man makes. I can even make more than him because of what I went after. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Because of my education, the certifications that I have, I can play ball with men. I can make more than men. You know, I have that. But I also have that beautiful part of me that is a mother. And I'm not dogging men and I'm not saying, but I think it's kind of like
None
whenever,
taken.
I think it's like whenever you've been pregnant and you've nurtured and you've given birth and you have that baby and you're able to stay home with that baby and provide for that baby because the man is out working and doing what he needs to do. So I could do that, you know. I hate the fact that you men are not recognized. And here's my thing. As true is like, yes, like back when my kid's dad and I were together, and he went out, he worked, I stayed at home because I wanted to try to be a stay-at-home mom, right? He supported that. When he came home, dinner was on the table. I made sure the house was clean because he didn't want to come home to a messy house. He didn't want to come home to a cold dinner or dinner that wasn't ready yet. He wanted to come home to a house that was provided. So it's not that I don't want to say that I understood my role. I understood his role, but also he provided on the weekends when I needed to go out with my girlfriends or I needed a break from the children. And if I had texted and I was like, okay, I'm done being a stay-at-home mom. I hate being a mom, because you have those moments.
Hmm.
He took over. I mean, I can say that about my kid's dad that he did that, and he was willing to do extra jobs. He was willing to do like 4 or 5 jobs so I could do what I wanted to do. And here's the thing that sucks is men, and especially today, I think, just my opinion. This is all my opinion, but I mean, I honestly feel that the way that the world is turning is that is not appreciated, and you're expected to do more, and that's when the gaslighting and all that fucking shit that you talked about comes into play. You know,
Well,
because
so
if you're working
I
your ass off and you're working 60 hours, you're going to be fucking exhausted. You don't want to
I
come home and deal with shit.
I got into a smaller conversation with a cup, on one of the like the side threads of it, and I mentioned it's like, look, I said I get it, I get where you're coming from on this. I'm not one of those men. I'm a
Right.
man who went out and worked 60 hours, and because my wife was doing school, working on her bachelor's, a hard bachelor's,
Mm-hmm.
working on, towards her master's, a very challenging master's, that I was one that came home. I cooked, I cleaned, I did the laundry. I did half of the yard, and the other half of the yard work I farmed out,
Yeah.
and paid someone to do. But I either that or my son, or the young man
Mm-hmm.
who lived with us, did that. But we took that on. I got
Right.
up there and cleaned the cutters. And you know what they said? So I'm doing all of this, and they said you're doing the bare minimum. You're doing the
That's
bare
not the
minimum. You
fucking
you
bare.
you should have done. You're doing the bare minimum because she was raising your kids, and it was like I was homeschooling my daughter on top of all
Mm-hmm.
of this. I said so. I'm not the bare minimum. What the way society is with all of the divisiveness that has come down, And here's the Christian part of me that is going to come out. Um, Satan wants to divide us, and if he can divide
Yeah.
the family, and if he can divide the country, then we're not putting our eyes towards God. Love
Mhm.
cannot exist where hatred exists,
Right.
and hatred is problem. So we've got to come back, and that's the whole point of what I was trying to say
Yeah.
is we're a team. And
Right.
in the end, and this isn't to pat myself on the back, but as a Christian, I took the high road out. I did not
Right.
attack them. I did not attack anyone because this is how they feel, and I respect
Yeah.
that. I wish them all a great, a beautiful day throughout the end of it. On my post, many, many, many women laughed at the post. Many women were angry at the post.
But
One woman loved it when I said, I hope you have a blessed day.
but here's my thing, and I think that Yogi brings up a good thing. Is honestly
Oh,
talking to
absolutely.
talking to strangers about politics, guns, religion, and gender is always risky. Can go wrong so many ways, and folks often don't understand it in context. And that's my whole thing. Is like, oh my gosh, it is so. And you and I have talked about this. It's like this generation and this mindset, and even our generation. If you talk to somebody, they're gonna get a like, oh my god, they want like fucking emotional support animals to help them, the
We live
emotional
in a
dogs and all that
we live
shit.
in a victim and
Yes,
entitled society.
yes, and you can't have that. And when well, let me say, you have those people, and when you have those people, you can't have an intellectual conversation with them. They're just going to be like, oh, woe is me, is woe is me, and you it's sad you can't have that. And but here's my thing is like, coming down to it is, you know I see where I wish that, and I'm going to say it online. And if my daughter-in-law sees this, my daughter-in-law, my daughter sees this, my son-in-law, I'll call him out on it. But it's kind of like this generation, especially, they don't understand a good work ethic. They don't.
They don't. They don't.
It's like they puss out, and I'm going to say puss out at 30 hours. They can't
It,
work. They can't work the hours that we work. Like, I work 14 to 16, sometimes 20 hours a day. They fucking can't do it because they're pussies. I said it like that. Second of all, they fucking get offended. They get their feelings hurt no matter what. And you could even say, hey, you could compliment them on something, and they get offended and they get their feelings hurt, and they're like, blah, blah, blah. So, like, I've kind of learned, like, I used to kind of like respond to shit like that, but I've learned not to respond because unless someone's being bullied, I do respond to someone being bullied. You know that because to me, I'm not going to put up with that shit. And to me, it's like I think that you responded because, like, at that point, men were being bullied, but it's sad because a lot. I'm gonna I'm gonna say a lot. I think more like a man than a woman. I've said this several times on the show. I've said this to my friends. I'm more manly than I am womanly. Is women want to play the damsel in distress. They want to be the victim, and
oh, and
they
and
can't accept ownership.
men, men do
I'm
men
going
do
to say that.
too.
But
Men,
it's
men
more, yeah, men do too. But in this case, I feel like men were being bullied. And then when men actually stood up, or other people stood up for men, the the women's clause came out, and that's what happened. So that's my
yeah.
2 cents. Even though, but I,
You're
it,
100% right. And to Yogi's point, to your point, you're right. You can't say, but to my point of what I posted the other day is that if I've had an impact on one person's life, then my life has been fulfilled. And if one person can go back and read what I said and can understand the heart of what I said, because I mean, I didn't pussyfoot around what I said, and I stand behind it 100%. what wasn't the right forum on that because that was a post for, and it was a man who posted this wanting to call out other men. And I said the intent of the message was heartfelt, the delivery was wrong.
Right.
Because I mean, you being having a master's in math, we both know that I can come up and I can create all kinds of statistics. And I even said in one of them, I said, what you gotta understand if you're going to talk statistics, because someone came up and was talking statistics and they're not wrong. I said, most likely the data group was a small subset. I guarantee it because there's billions of men in this world. And so with the data group that they came up with for this
Mm-hmm.
statistical post that they did was such a small subset of the men that are actually out there. My son-in-law, I mean, you know him.
Mm-hmm.
He comes home from work after working an 8-hour day where he's on his feet all day, does finishes up whatever dishes are there,
Mm-hmm.
helps out with cleaning up the house. And there's three adults
Right.
here. My daughter physically is incapable of, she does
Right.
what she can, but she's physically incapable. It's a detriment to her health. She could pass out if she
Mm-hmm.
bends over and unloads the dishwasher. And we stop her to. She tries to, and we tell her, no, you stop doing that.
And she's not gonna listen because she's stubborn.
She does what she can, but her husband steps up and meets the need of it.
Right.
And my entire intention of the comment, and I'll never stop making comments because I'm an
Right.
ass that way. I'm going to say something that if I can get one person to think a little bit differently, look at a different picture of it, a different view of it, we've got to stop the division. And
Right.
that only starts with us as
Right.
men and women, as a couple, as a partnership. It's a
Right.
partnership and we need to be a team.
Right. And I think that and you're absolutely right because I will tell you because I've done with what I do and part of my studies and stuff is you pick your audience, you do it, and like all the statistics, and here's my thing is like when you have a master's in mathematics and analytical statistic shit, every group that you pick each person for a certain purpose, and statistically you have it's prejudiced. It's not equality. It's a prejudice group. Most of the groups that they form on that thing is not a norm. Because here's my honest belief with me knowing and working with a female dominant crowd and talking to educators and, their spouses, the men step up because they know that if you're in education and you're teaching, you're working 60 to 70 hours. And though even though those husbands are on like police officers, they're detectives, they're SWAT, they're firefighters. It's kind of funny. Most teachers, marry public servants, and those police officers work 60 to 80 hours just as much as a wife. But because they don't bring the work home, they do more. So I think it's like whenever you have to be careful whenever you read statistics, like, oh, this percentage of whatever, you have to go back and look at what kind of group, what kind of, because when you they post statistics, they're supposed to post like, okay, 80% of these men worked in this area, these men worked in this area. They have to post that. So I think it's kind of like a lot of people are not educated to understand. They just take it as, oh, it's 80% of all the men in the world. No, it's on a focus group. They chose a certain focus group.
It's on a small
So
data
yeah,
set from the bigger data pool.
because like,
I
and I know more men than I know women. And most of those men, like, they'll tell me, they're like, hey, Red, I can't meet up because I've got to help my wife, or I've got to help my girlfriend, or I've got to help this, I've got to help my mom. They're telling me what they're doing. And I see more of like men doing more of what they need to do versus the other. Now, have I seen it the other way? Yeah. And
Oh,
does that happen in my own life? Yeah.
yeah, I've seen it as well. I'm a little bit older than you. Grew up in a in an era to where that was the norm, to where the woman ran the house, the man ran, worked and took care of the finances and paid the bills, and they each had their own responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
My
But to be,
my
it,
grandfather would say, uh, where is dinner? I thought dinner was going to be ready by now while he's sitting down reading his newspaper.
right. But here's another thing that I don't think is like, I have someone take care of my bills. There's a reason why I pay someone to take care of my bills. And you want to know why I pay someone to take care of my bills? Because I don't want to fucking deal with the stress. Because as a woman, emotionally, because we get emotionally tied to it. There's a fucking reason why. Even though I say I'm more manly, when it comes to paying bills, I can't handle it. It is too fucking stressful. It is like my brain can't do it. My brain can't do it. And men in psychology, and if like here's the thing, is come at me because hello, I have my degree in this area.
Yeah.
So please come at me. But like my thing is statistically women are it's difficult for us to separate that too. And men like and I'm not saying men I'm not saying that men are able to, but they're better equipped. You know what I'm saying? They can
Oh yeah.
handle that stress. And as women, we don't think about that. They're like, oh, well, it's the man. He can do it. He can handle it. We don't focus on the stress that it causes because it does cause y'all major, major stress. So I think that also has a part to play with it is kind of like, we just like, oh, the husband, we don't, as women, we don't uh, make it equivalent or it's not equal to. Um, we're like, oh, the man's supposed to do it and he's not going to get stressed because, he's a man.
I
In
can't tell you the
reality, y'all get more stressed.
I can't tell you the number of times, when I was married, that I would be sitting in my car before, get home from work. I'd sit out in my
Hmm.
car and I would just release the stresses of the day.
Hmm. Before you have to come
But,
into
but
another set of
before
stress,
before I come in because I don't want
bring
to
that
let it
stress.
go. And
Yeah.
and she was wonderful in that. She understood. There was
Hmm.
times that she was like, I just want you to come in and spend some time with me. But if I you know and there's times that I came in, I didn't release the stress, and I mean, I wasn't a perfect husband by any means, and I would take the stress of my day out.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm sat behind a computer
Shit,
all day long, but
I
but
take
in
that fucking stress
IT
out too. Yeah.
in IT, I'm responsible for, in different areas. I'm responsible for people's finances. I'm responsible for people's
Yeah.
insurance, for people's health records, and all that. That's a
Yeah.
hell of a lot of stress. One
Yeah.
decimal point difference can mean the difference
It's
between
gonna.
$10,000 and $100,000.
Yeah.
And there was one time that I made the mistake of that decimal point and cost the company over, $100,000 on it,
Yeah.
and I almost lost my position, and did lose a position for that. And for mistakes that I made,
Yeah.
or mistakes that somebody else made that was put on me. But either way, no matter what, no matter if you're coming home with a lot of stress from work, or there's a lot of stress from what you're doing, you're a homemaker,
Hmm.
at home wife, husband, at home husband, or what have you,
Yeah.
you have to be a team and be a partner and understand both sides of the situation. And that's all I was trying to get out was, let's stop the divisiveness.
Yeah.
Message was right, delivery
Yeah.
was wrong, because the delivery caused oh yeah, my husband is blah 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 blah
It
blah blah.
it breaks my heart because it seems like on shit like that, it's like a beating post. You know, let's put them in the stocks and let's crucify them, and let's get the cat of nine tails and just whip them with it. And it, I hate fucking posts like that. And a lot of time, and here's my thing: I've learned not to respond
Yeah.
because people want to take the cat of nine tails and they're not going to listen. And especially women. And here's my thing: is when women, I'm going to tell you something that, you know, you already know this, you men know this, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret, okay? Women are like a dog with a bone. When we get passionate about something, we're fucking not letting it go, guys. You know this, but you choose to keep trying to fight us on it, and it's fucking not going to end well.
So the men, from the men's side of it, we're not trying to fight it, but we have this mindset of, oh, if I talk you through this and I talk with you on this and we address it, that we can help you fix it.
No, we
So
just want to rant and we just want to like go after you. It's women aren't of that mindset. Like when women post something like they're angry about something, fucking either agree or don't fucking post. Like run, run.
but
And when they
this is
respond to
a
shit,
man. This
but
is
I'm
a
saying,
man who
but
posted it.
he opened it towards women. He opened it towards women. The majority of the response was women. So don't fucking like. Here's my advice to men: if it's a post towards women, and you know women are going to respond, and they're going to be like, "Ooh, women, 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 pro women, pro women, pro women," and they're not going to think about men's feelings, don't fucking respond because we're going to come at you.
You
Claws,
know,
knife,
I
the,
I was in a conversation with a woman in the cigar industry, and she's very well known.
it
Has
wasn't me.
no, she has like 50,000 plus followers.
Oh fuck yeah, it wasn't me.
On Instagram, and we weren't doing a show. We did a show afterwards, or before. This was after the show, and she stated, "Men don't have feelings." I don't believe men have feelings. I've never seen a man have feelings. Now, hold your thoughts on this because this is really is going to get you. If you want to see what a lot of men really feel, and hurt men, really how they're being attacked, is go out and look at the number of videos on TikTok and on Instagram where men will come back and say, who do I talk to? I don't have anybody to talk to.
They
Nobody
don't.
cares about my feelings. I
They don't.
I don't have it. I'm not
They
allowed to
don't.
have feelings. If I mention that I have feelings, I need to grow a pair and step up. I'm not allowed to feel. And
No.
all of that, all of that feeds into all of that feeds into um, the challenges with a post like this because it does not promote healing on either side. It does not promote
No, it doesn't.
awareness on either side. It does not promote
Correct.
a conversation on either side. A conversation is not a bashing of men or women. A conversation is where two are coming together to the table and listening
But
and coming to a solution.
I'm also going to say like this: when women say what that person said, um, women perceive men how they perceive their fathers, just like men
Hmm.
perceive women how they perceive their mothers, right? So we're going to get in deep psychology here. So if, like, my father was very, you know, my mom only cooked 3 times a year. Other than that, we went out to eat, whatever, right? But my father treated my mother as equal, but he also treated her as a queen. I fucking hate it when people call me a princess. I'm not a fucking princess. A princess is waiting for a man to come rescue her. I don't need a fucking man to rescue me because I can fucking do my own shit, right? Because my daddy taught me how to change a flat tire, check my oil, fix my car, do all of that shit, which I so appreciate. He taught me how to mow a lawn, he taught me how to pull weeds, he taught me how to change light bulbs, how to fix, well, my mother taught me how to fix things around the house. And I'm so grateful that they brought me up this way. But they also, and here's the queen mentality, I can fucking rule the world. I can fucking do whatever I want, right? I have the strength and inner beauty, and I have the intelligence and the passionate to do whatever I want to do. But as a queen, we also have kings that help rule beside us. Or we have, and I'm not saying a king can be like my father, it can be like you, it can be anybody that I can go to for advice and they're going to give me advice. But if also I don't know how to like change the oil in my car or how to fix a wall where there's a hole in it, I can go to a male counterpart and say, hey, look, this happened. I need your help. Can you help me? That's the difference between a queen and a princess. So most of women that are reared and most women that have been reared, we have been taught that we're freaking princesses. We're not freaking princesses. We're queens. I refuse to be called a princess. I never called my daughters princesses. I always called them queens because I wanted them to know that they had a capability to rule, dictate, and do whatever they needed to do independently without a man. But if they needed a man would treat her with respect and give her the dignity and respect that she deserved. Does that make sense?
So, oh, it makes 100% sense. And I'm going to take this to a little bit of a biblical. In Genesis, when it says, and God created woman, the name, the Hebrew word for that is Azor, Ezer.
Mm-hmm.
That word is used 13 times in the Bible. 1, 3, not 4,
Yeah, I was like,
13
do it
times.
reverse. Now do it the other way. There you go.
13 times
13.
in the Bible. Okay? It's used to describe woman one time, Ezer, and that word translates to helper. That's the word for woman in Genesis. And God created Azor, woman. The other 12 times, it's used to describe Christ. If that doesn't open up people's minds on the importance of women and who God designed women to be, I don't know what else is.
I'm just going to say, read between the lines. I know that's not
Yeah.
very Christian and biblical. How do you say it?
No,
Biblical?
exactly right. We're meant
But,
to be partners.
right. And my
We're
thing is like, if anything, is men are like, in the Bible it says men leave their mother and father and cleave to their wives. It's not the other way around. And
no.
and and here's the thing that kind of like messes me up is I think it's kind of like we twist it and we make it fit for today's society. You know, but it breaks my heart when I see that because it adds more stress and more dilemma to men. Like here's my thing is we always focus on women and I'm going to say that because like oh, I'm needy, I'm this, you know, and I'm a pretty strong woman. And I even posted, I said, hey, y'all, since April of 2022, for the last 6 months, my life has been hell. It's been difficult, but I've been faking it till you make it, right?
Yeah.
And And my thing is like now I'm back. I feel like 100% of me. I'm at peace. Everything. You know, and the day that I posted that, I'm back. What happened? I got a message saying that my son was in jail, right,
Hmm.
with the DUI, his second offense, and I was like, what the fuck? The first day that I speak positivity, shit comes down, right? But it's all how you take that mindset. It's all how
Oh
you do
yeah.
your shit, right?
Yep.
So
Yep. Yep.
here's my thing: is I think in today's society, it's easy to bash on men. It's easy to blame men, and I think that's where we are. And like as you said, to round it all out, it's not about hating men. It's not about hating women. It's about loving each other and working together.
It's about loving each other, working together, and eliminating this divisiveness of us against men against women, women against
Yeah,
men, people against people, blacks against everybody else, whites
blacks
against
against
everybody
whites,
else.
whites against black. Oh my
It,
god.
stop the divisiveness.
Yes, it's kind of funny because I'm gonna go there for a minute. Um,
Well, wait till you see where I'm about to go.
like I'm out of beverage, bro. I
No,
like
no, you see what I got here?
yes, I see what you got, and you're just gonna fucking drink it. That's like rude. Okay, so I'm gonna say I had I had somebody, and I shared this with you. I had one specific teacher come up to me, or actually go to the admin of my school and say, "Red is she doesn't like blacks. She doesn't like blacks. She can't
You
identify.
told
She
yeah,
doesn't."
you told me about all that. That is
And it's still going on. But here's the funny thing: who reared me, Graybeard? Who reared me? What color was my nana?
she was a beautiful because you showed me pictures. She was a beautiful
Beautiful,
black
gorgeous,
woman.
beautiful, gorgeous, dominant black woman. Staying with Nat King Cole, hung out with him, was very good friends with him. So what was instilled with me was more the black culture than the white culture. Like I had an old principal that called me a reversed Oreo. She's like, you're white on the outside, but you're black on the inside. She goes, you actually enjoy more black stuff than I do. She goes, you get your hair braided, you like your chitlins, you like your pork and your bean, like all that stuff. So when I kind of laughed because the admin knew that I was reared by a black woman. She knew that I classified as one of my dearest mother as a black woman. And when this person brought this to their attention, she kind of laughed at him. She's like, go ask her what color her Nana is and her mother, the woman who reared her. And but here's my thing is what it boils down to and what it all comes down to is we're that victim society. We want someone to blame, and we're gonna blame opposite of what we are. So as a woman, I'm gonna blame a man. As a white person, I'm going to blame the black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever culture. As a black person, I'm going to blame the white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. And to me, it's heartbreaking because the news and the media, and I'm going to say this because I used to produce my own sports show. I was an executive producer for a newscast, worldwide newscast, not just local. But the one that I was a part of, we weren't like that. But other like CNN, Fox, all that stuff, they pit against other whatever's opposite of them. If I'm conservative, I'm going to go against the liberal. If I'm liberal, I'm going to go against the conservative. There's never a medium on any of this shit. Even with Nate, like nighttime talk, any of this shit, news, anything, there's never a medium, and it's very, very heartbreaking because everything that you see and you read is very right side or left side.
Or let's say, both are equally as bad. And
Right.
when
But
it comes
then
down
there's the
to it,
positive. when you go to a cigar lounge, what happens when you go to a cigar lounge, Graybeard? What happens? It's the most beautiful
All
thing.
all of that all of that goes away.
All of it goes
Uh,
away.
all of that goes away. And in the cigar lounge, we have conversations on all of this
Yeah,
shit. But
it's respectful.
we
It's
actually
not like
think
fuck you, bitch.
we actually think because at
Yeah.
some point in time in society, media changed, politics changed,
Hmm.
society changed to where we were told what to think and we stopped thinking for
For
ourselves.
ourselves. But I think when you sit down and you have a cigar, and here's my thing: is sometimes the adult beverage helps.
Sta-
I'm gonna say I've had 6 shots of vodka tonight.
I've had I've had 4 ounces of
So
bourbon
like
in the
two,
drink,
four. I've
and
had 12 ounces of vodka. Fuck. So you and I've had about 12 ounces each, right? So here's my thing: is I'm not promoting this, and I'm gonna say this because it, I'm gonna flat out say it like this: if you have an issue and you can't control yourself when you're drinking, don't fucking drink.
then don't drink.
You've got to be responsible. You've got to suffer. I don't want to say suffer the consequence, but you need to be responsible and take action. That you have some good shit right there. I need to get some more of that because like I'm out of that. So
So let's wrap this
I
whole
know we
soapbox
like
up.
we went on a major soapbox. You took us down a rabbit hole,
I
and
took
I
us
took us
down a
down a
rabbit
rabbit
hole,
hole, and then we went down from further rabbit holes. So yeah,
but
so
and it part of it needed to be said. Part of it, I mean, we went down probably further than what we should have gone. I
but
really
that's
don't
okay.
care.
Yeah, if we lose followers
This
because of
is
this,
yeah. This is our show.
yeah, our show,
This is
not
our show.
yours.
This is the
Get your own
Twisted
show if you
Pair.
don't like it.
This is the Twisted Pair. This is what we do. You guys know that the second half hour, or the second hour, it can go on to anything. First
Yeah,
hour is focus. Second hour can be on to anything.
and you can have
The
balloons that go off and hearts that go off.
the one who's still on, there they are. The one who's still on. We thank you for staying on with us. I hope that as people come back and listen to this, I hope you say I pray that you listen to what Red and I talked about this second hour of the show and you understand
and,
where our
and listen
hearts
with an
are.
open heart. Don't listen with prejudice. And I think that's what happens a
You
lot.
happen to freeze at that moment.
Okay, I was saying listen with an
You
open
froze for a
heart.
minute, so repeat what you said.
Okay, so listen with an open
Yes.
heart. I think whenever I make hand signs, that's what makes the heart. I don't know how that works, but like, look, it's a heart.
So what if you did something like this? Is that what creates the balloons?
I don't know what creates the bliss. But anyway,
I
so listen with an open heart. And my thing is don't be prejudiced. The only way that you can learn and get educated and understand someone is if you fucking put your feelings and your like little prejudice aside. You may not agree with what we're saying, but just calm down. Shit, have 6 shots of tequila, vodka, or whatever, and just listen and chill to what we have to say. You don't have to agree with it, but just listen to the other side and show respect. That's all we're asking
that's
because
it.
we show respect to y'all. So I mean, and that's all I'm going to say.
So what are we pairing again next week?
Are we going to
Fruit.
do fruit?
We're
I'm
gonna do
excited about fruit.
let's do fruit next week.
Oh,
I I want to and we need to change things up so we close the first hour out on this.
okay.
We have such exciting things coming out in our first edition of our digital magazine.
Oh my god, I'm so freaking excited. Like with all the chaotic shit that's been going on, I still have gotten my shit together with that. Kudos, yay. Same with you. Um, but I don't want to spill it. So shh.
No, but
Cierra la boca.
but
Cállate.
we have some incredible reviews coming
Yeah.
out. We have
And
some incredible articles, interviews
well,
coming
and
out.
here's my thing. I think our ads. I know this is like so silly and so stupid, but I even think our ads are great.
I do too. I do too.
I'm
Um,
being very nerdy, so I think like I'm just excited about like he's like next rabbit hole hikes gin or vodka and martinis. Oh my goodness, vodka. We're Americans. We're not even good at.
I
We're not English. We're
no,
not missing our teeth.
I've had a gin-based martini that was
You've only
so
had
good.
one.
No, no, ma'am. I've had more than one now. I've had.
Just keep going. You and I are about to like have a fight.
Hey, I explore the pairings.
I explore the pairings too, but like
Oh,
my pal.
okay. I'm not gonna say who did this, and you can ask me afterwards. But I got challenged by somebody, and this person wants me to go and record a video with this person on a pairing with sardines.
Bleh, I can already guess. I think I know who it is. Fuck that shit. Okay,
I'm
you.
going, and
I'm thankful. Here,
this person said, "Are you willing to do this?" I said,
okay,
"Our
okay.
motto
I'm
is
gonna tell
explore the
you.
pairings." What would that mean if I said no?
Okay, let me tell you. When I lived with my birth mother on the reservation and shit, and then like after the reservation, that's all we ate was fucking sardines. That triggers me.
Well, and it's this.
So
I
I'm
don't
glad
even
they
remember.
asked you. So you enjoy your fucking sardines with whatever you're gonna
I
explore
don't
with.
remember. Hey, I want to try to pronounce the name of it.
Mm,
Um,
you're not gonna be able to pronounce it. You're gonna have to send it to me.
surströmming. It's a type. It's like a luxury type of sardine.
No, you need to get poor man sardines. Fuck the luxury
No,
shit.
no, 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 no.
No, 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 no,
This.
no. No,
I
that's like
don't
you're
have.
having fucking caviar. You're having fucking caviar
I
sardines.
was challenged, and I'm stepping up to the challenge.
Well, I'm glad you got challenged and they didn't challenge my ass out because I would tell them fuck no.
No, but I challenged you on all those, and you agreed to step up to it.
I know, I did agree to step up.
All right. So next week,
Fruit,
fruit. To
fruit,
all two
fruit.
of
The
you
more
who
you
are
eat, the
still
more
on,
you chew. Oh,
all
that's
two of
beans.
you who are still on, step up and come to the plate with fruit and explore the pairings. Come on. Don't make Red and I do this ourselves. We
All
got great stuff coming up.
by myself.
You're not by yourself. I'm doing this with you.
Okay, we're
We've
gonna
we've
be.
got. Do we have some guests that are coming out?
Yeah, we do. We're working on some. I'm gonna tell you this. We're working on tequila guest. We're working on with a mixologist, and then we're working. Okay, let me tell you. There's very like God, I can't. Okay, that sounds like such a bitch thing. Okay, this woman that I'm trying to get onto our show is beyond gorgeous. Like I don't want to say it's like you know how you have your women crush. Like I have a
Uh huh.
couple women crush in this industry, and you know who they are. She is one of my women crushes, but she thinks that I'm more beautiful. But like she's hotter than me, but she thinks that I'm hotter than her. Does that make sense?
Okay. So
And you know who I'm
as
talking about. And
I
we're
do,
both
and
smoking hot.
as a man, I gotta say you are both smoking hot You both
I think
have
we're both sexy. We
you
both great.
both have beautiful souls. You both have beautiful souls, beautiful spirits about you, and I am so excited to get her on the show. And
But she's also going to
I've
be in our magazine.
she's gonna, but I also have a little step of an advantage. And if you want to know who this is, go back because I always give
You
shout outs.
you posted it in
We
Texas Cigar.
Texas David
I
Skelton,
even put it in my stories and I put it on my timeline. So not only did I do it, but Graybeard. So we
the
both put this
queen
hot, sexy woman.
the queen line of her cigar.
Oh, and I have two
Skeleton,
surprises for you that I'm not even fucking gonna tell you.
okay, skeleton, David Skeleton,
Skeleton,
the
not skeleton.
skeleton, the man behind good friend, good brother, love him
Texas.
dearly. Texas Cigar Roadshow.
Yeah, I couldn't say it.
He he scored the king at a 93, and I smoked the queen. And you can go back and watch the episode, and we had a
Yeah,
little
I
bit of
did
fun
watch
with
it
it.
to support
I
both, all three of y'all.
I scored the Queen cigar at a 94. I mean, it wasn't live; it was recorded, but I scored this Queen cigar at a 94. And we're trying to get her on the show, and she's going to be in our
She,
magazine.
yeah, she's already. Oh, pomegranates. I love pomegranates, but I'm gonna tell you, they're fucking hard and
Uh,
difficult to pair with. I'm just gonna say that because it's kind of like a neutral shit. It's just kind of there.
yeah,
Pomegranate.
cranberries are hard to do as well.
Pomegranate. I'm
Anyways,
taking up space. Anyway, but I mean, we'll
anyways,
look at it. But Graybeard's gonna definitely look at your sardines. We will come back with fruit. I'm excited to do fruit because we've never just done fucking fruit. Oh, and can I give a shout out to the post that you made with
do it.
your post with the pictures, the graphics,
Yes, do it.
because
Do it. He deserves
because
it.
yeah. So my next to the oldest son, Alejandro, Alex, my my boy, created those graphics. I was like, hey, show me what you can do, and I just sent him shit, and he created these kick ass. Like I wasn't expecting him to create these fucking kick ass graphics that he did. But like, yeah, it totally kicked ass. So I'm super proud of him as a mama. And I'm like, fuck, dude. And he did it in like less than 5 minutes. I was like, fuck you, bitch. But anyway, that was a different conversation he and I had. But I was super proud of him for doing those graphics. And he's going to help me out with other graphics in the future. So, and in fact, he's created me. I haven't even showed this to you. He's created me as an anime kind of character.
Show the Graybeard some love because I don't I don't really have anything that exemplifies the Graybeard, and I'm wanting
Okay, well,
something.
I will tell him to do you a great beard. But he said that he's like, Mom, I can't do like, here's my beautiful graphic right there. I'm gonna, boop, here we are.
Yep.
So, like, how many people can say they have themselves tattooed on them? That's fucking amazing, right? So I have myself tattooed.
And
He can't.
those stickers.
Those stickers are kick ass because you have that sticker. I
I
have
do.
that sticker. And I've had like several people buy them already. I only did like 100. And seriously, I think I have like maybe 50 left, if that. But then I've had people put in some orders. So I think I only seriously have like maybe 30 left. So if you want a sticker, contact us, contact me. I'll be happy to send it to you and do all that stuff. I can't put the details like on the video because what happens if I put it in the video, Graybeard?
We get cut off.
We get cut off. So DM me. I think some people were expecting them for free. I'm not making a
No.
profit off of this, people. Y'all have asked for it. Several people asked for it. They asked for my logo. There's a trademark on it. You can't produce your own logo. That's why my son can't do it in some of the things that he does. Um, so I'm not making a profit. I'm just, y'all asked for it and I'm delivering. So there you go. I'm not going to go out of pocket and be in debt because of what y'all have asked for. But if you want a
Nope.
sticker, ask me. It's what it costs to print. I'm not
Yep.
making any money. I'm just covering
Yep.
the shipping.
100%. 100%. All right. Let's call it. You ready to
I know.
call it?
I enjoyed our fall cocktail. Like, I want to show you. Like, look at this. Like, if you look at that. Is that not like crazy?
That that's beautiful.
Like,
I,
look
I'm
at that. Do you
I'm
see? Do you see all the fall leaves on my ground? Like, I can't
mm,
make this shit up, dude. Like, look at that.
I'm not gonna show mine because I have dogs come out on my balcony and well,
Yeah, no. I don't have any petals. But I feel at peace and I love my new surrounding, and I hope that y'all enjoyed it. And I apologize again for not getting my shit together tonight. I thought I had it together, but overall, I think it went well.
I think it was a great show. I mean, look at all the hearts. Now we just got to figure out how the hell you
I
created
don't
the
know how the
balloons.
fucking balloons work. I've got to figure out the balloons.
All right.
Oh my gosh, did you see that?
I did.
I
But
don't know how I fucking did that.
I think you started off with hearts.
I don't know. Okay.
Well, see,
But anyway, I'll figure this shit
mine is
out.
boring. Mine's
Because,
boring.
but aren't you? Oh, you're on your computer. You're not on your
I'm on
iPhone.
my computer.
That's
All
why
right.
I'm on my iPhone. But we've had fun. I like the fall cocktails. I'm excited to see what fruit brings. Ooh, I'm wondering about grapefruit.
I won't do grapefruit.
I can't because I'm allergic to it.
I cannot stand grapefruit or
Oh, with sauce. Oh, it's so good.
any kind of melon. Ugh, no.
That's why you're not Texan, my friend.
I'm Texan. You can't take that away
No,
from me. Sorry.
you're not native Texan. Native
I'm
Texan.
not native
What?
Texan,
But I'm
but
saying native Texans are all about their ruby red grapefruit with salt.
my daughter's native Texan and I'm Texan by default from there. And I'm Texan because I've been living here almost as long as you've been
I
alive.
gave you honorary Texan, remember?
Yes. I think you. How old were you in '91?
Fuck, I don't know. I was born in 77.
Yeah, so you
I can't
were
math right now.
you were 14 years old when I moved here.
How old were you when you moved here?
24.
So, 10 years difference.
Hmm.
So, I'm still more Texan than you.
I'm still Texan.
No, it's
See,
honorary
she
Texan.
froze with that funny look on her face. I need to screenshot that.
No, it's honorary Texan. I have given you that. Take it like that.
Yes.
Okay, take the honorary Texan because that's a big deal, dude. You know that.
I'll take that from you. I'll take it from you. Anybody else and that those may be fighting words.
Yeah, but no, honorary Texan is big because we don't just give that to anybody. And I'm just going to say this: go Texas Rangers!
Well, have you seen how the Mavericks are playing?
Holy crap, yes!
They
Luca,
are.
fuck,
Look,
Dominic. Let me tell you. Okay, here's my thing. Now, I've had season tickets to the Mavs, right? And I have had a lot of meet and greet. I've met lots of players. I've actually got to hang out with them and chill with them. And I will always say this: Dirk created the Mavs. I'm going to say it because he gave up and sacrificed a salary, and he always stayed true with the Mavs. He could have gone with the Bulls. He could have gone with anybody. He could have gone with the Lakers. I mean, anyone would have been proud to have him. But he stayed true to his home state. And that's why Texas loves him. He took a huge pay cut so Luka and all the other players, the new players that you see, could come and play for us. Dude, if we won that championship a second time,
Oh man.
and here's my thing, I'm not fucking rolling them out because the Mavs have always been the underdog, kind of like the Rangers. You don't fucking roll them out.
Oh no. No, no, no,
It,
no, not at all.
yeah,
I
they
got
are
I gotta
fucking
show
phenomenal.
I gotta show you something cute.
And if you look at my, oh, hey puppy, she needs to come back. Is it he or she?
She's only
She
like
needs to
eight
come.
months old.
She no, she looks like she's a grown ass adult. She
No,
doesn't look like she's 8
she's
months.
8 months old. She's 8 months old. She's a baby.
She's
She's
not.
been sticking. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Hi, puppy. Oh, puppy. Oh, what does she have?
Her
I'm not
toy.
gonna. It almost looks like a fucking bra.
Nope,
She has
that's
one of
her
my bras because my bras are big enough like that.
it's her plushie toy. All
Her
right.
plushie toy looks like a bra. I'm just gonna say it.
uh I
On
don't
that
even know how to
note,
end I don't even know how to end this show now.
fruits, cigars next week. Fruits and cigars.
Please click follow. Oh, we are so close to 200 subscribers on YouTube. So
Come
close.
on, guys. Please don't make us beg. That makes us
We have
seem like we're tired
we
of
have
begging. Just do it.
we've gotten
Pull the
11 new
fucking trigger.
subscribers this year.
I know, it's been beautiful.
I'm sorry, no, 11 new subscribers this past month in October. Over
Stop,
2,300
Jason.
hours. What's up, Jason?
Hola.
2,300 hours of
That
viewers, of
that's the
views.
beautiful thing. It's like the viewership of this
I mean,
shit
not
has been
not 23
gorgeous.
hours, 2,300 minutes. So, I mean, people are
It's
watching.
gorgeous.
People are
They're
watching,
watching
but
us and they're watching our show. So subscribe, people. I'm gonna call out Piper Dad, Jason. Do you follow us on YouTube? Have you subscribed?
come on,
Chris?
Piper Dad.
I know
Yogi,
you do. Thank you, Chris, to get
thank you
Shelly
for
to go
getting.
on YouTube. Thank you. We appreciate it.
I just published a new article on our website, the history of the Sazerac. If you don't know the cool history of the
It's
Sazerac,
fucking amazing. I
go
love
read it.
like here's my thing is Cesar Rye is like fucking beautiful, but even that it's gonna make you
I
have a no face.
and I'm talking about the Sazerac cocktail on top of that. So the
Yeah.
Sazerac
Yours is even
cocktail, the
more
rye
like yours
came
is
from the
sexy.
cocktail.
Yeah.
The company came from the cocktail, and it
Yeah,
goes
and
back into New
I
Orleans.
should have said it that way, but I didn't because I got excited because you know how I like my rye. I'm just
Yes, but
saying.
no, go out and check the article out, please read it. Our beer writer, his article is on Craft Brew is the number 2 article
I
over the
know.
since he's
And here's the cool thing is like here's my thing. I'm like fucking yay across the fucking pond, and
he's from the Isle of Man. He
and where
lives
is
on
that
the Isle of Man.
located? Where is that located, Graybeard?
That's it's almost like right in between Ireland and Scotland.
That is like here's my thing. It's like here's my thing. It's like my dad is straight off the boat from Ireland. My mom's straight off the reservation, right? So
Uh-huh.
anytime I can get back to my Irish roots, that I think that's why I like beer so much.
It,
You
it's got to be.
yeah.
That's got to be part of it. And he is writing, he's doing the reviews and writing about our, beer articles for the website, our
Yeah.
wine
So he
articles.
knows
And
more
here
shit
we
than
are,
I do.
continuing on, the show when we're trying to end it.
I
Our
know we're
our
having too
our
much
wine
excitement.
writer, she's working on taking her test for her quarter sommeliers level 3.
And
That
let me
is
just say this:
intense.
the people who write for us, and not only write for us, but Graybeard and I, not to toot everyone's horn, but we know our shit. And
Our
it's raining
copywriter,
again.
our copywriter, he's a barista.
Yeah, and it's raining again. I'm gonna melt. Not really, because I'm not sweet.
Yogi, I will never admit that gin is superior to vodka or vodka is superior to gin.
Ah,
They are two completely different spirits. Step back down off
Yogi,
of your high
really?
horse.
Oh my god, are we gonna talk about like, oh shit, what was the yummy stuff that he brought for bottle night? Brandy. Fuck, we're gonna like brandy.
Well,
Remember,
that
I
that
wasn't a
was
brandy person. It
that
was
was a
Yogi.
that was a
No, it wasn't
Spanish
Spanish.
friend.
It was Palestine or something. Where like the Muslims.
I thought the one that he brought was Spanish was a Spanish, which is a different
Mm,
style of
okay,
brandy.
Yogi, settle this because I remember Palestine, Muslim, and he's just gonna be. But like, it's sprinkling. That's like
You need
insane.
to.
But I have this big ass tree. Like, I can't wait for you to cut. Like, Graybeard hasn't even seen my new house. I think I've only showed you videos, and I don't think I've all the videos of my rooms.
You've only shown me videos.
So yeah, so like Graybeard, like y'all don't feel like hating and stuff, because this is the most that Graybeard has seen as seen of my house.
He brought us a pisco,
I
a
don't know what that
pisco, which
means,
is it's a type of brandy. It's space brandy.
but I thought he said it came from like a Lebanese or something. Whatever. Yogi, we'll settle
I
this
could
later.
be wrong, but
I could
of
not be
course
wrong.
he's ignoring us.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
there you go.
ignoring us. Oh
Okay.
no, I'm sorry. It's a Peruvian. It's a Peruvian.
Peruvian.
A pisco.
Lebanese.
Peruvia.
Lebanese.
No,
Peruvia
ma'am.
Lebanese is the same.
Lebanese is in the Middle East. Peruvia is in South America.
Yes, it is. What did he say? Is that what he said? Is that what's in the comment?
No,
Oh,
Jason said the house looks awesome from the pics.
oh, thank you, thank you.
All right,
Uh, yeah.
I need food and I got to
I know.
use
I
the
haven't
bathroom.
eaten yet. I haven't. Like, let me tell you, I didn't even eat breakfast or lunch, so I need to eat.
What? Do I need to put a reminder to remind you?
Yeah, because like I get so fucking. And my thing is like I'm not trying to avoid. People are like, "Oh, are you trying to be skinny?" No, fuck that shit. I don't care if I'm fat or skinny. I like me curvy. I like some meat on my bones. I don't like to be a skinny bitch. The thing is I get so caught up in what I'm doing and so focused that like seriously, I was sitting there making meetings, making schedules, doing paperwork. Like I got in and I did all that shit, and then all of a sudden I look at and it's 4 o'clock, and I'm like, where did the day go by? You know, just saying. So I might need
I'm
reminders for someone to tell me that I need to eat.
and Red, forgive me for saying this, but I like your curves.
Thank you. I have another bottle, y'all. So tell us what the fucking bottle
What
is.
the
Like
bottle? What
you're
was the
teasing
bottle?
us.
Come
You're
on.
fucking teasing us. Who is
What?
right? Graybeard or red? That's like bullshit, Yogi. You know that.
Rakija. Rakija.
Okay,
Okay.
where the fuck is that from? Where the fuck is that
I'm
from?
googling.
Like I can't
I'm
Google shit.
googling.
Like, yeah. I like my curves because I used to weigh like 90 something pounds when I was in high school and shit. And like the model, I actually used to model and be on print magazines and all that shit. I like me curvy. I don't like me skinny. And if a man can't appreciate that, then he's not a real man. He's a little boy. If you can't handle a real woman,
Albania.
where's
It
Albania?
it's it's
Southern Europe.
Southern Europe,
So
yes.
we're both fucking wrong, Graybeard.
We're both wrong. I thought
Ah, Yogi.
Google Google just told me Albania here or Serbia.
Rakitia.
It's made from all it says,
Can you
and
just
this
tell us
is
the freaking country? Just tell us the country, bro. Just tell it. You're like teasing us.
I'm telling you, he's having
I was
fun
gonna
with
say
this.
something very, very naughty about that, but I'm biting my tongue.
To give him a little bit of props. If you remember
I
back
love
two
Yogi, and
years,
I'm so glad that he joined us tonight.
I am
I've
too.
missed him.
If you
I
remember
thought of him like the other day.
2 years ago, this time period, we started our coffee. It's been 2 years since we did our coffee. Can you believe
What?
that?
And
It's been
Yogi
two
did it.
years.
And Yogi
T-
did a beautiful job.
and Yogi did our coffee. So much love, much props to Yogi on
See,
that.
like Yogi, I'm giving you hearts. I don't know if they're showing up.
That they were. They're done.
There
Oh,
they
there
are.
they
There they
come.
go. Yogi, there you go. Give you hearts. But yeah, um, I'm glad that he joined us tonight. I've missed
I
him.
am too. We are
Um,
delayed. I'm sorry.
but you
All
know
right.
what? If you don't like it, then jump off. We're delayed
All
somehow.
right.
I know. I'm gonna blame me. But like, I had so much fun. We went like all over the place, like an ADHD squirrel.
it's
Well,
it's almost like
we
it's
haven't
back
met in
to the
2 weeks,
original.
so it's okay.
We had to catch up.
Yeah, we sure heck did. And if you have an issue with that, then come fight me. Read between the lines, y'all. Read between the lines.
Good. All right. We love everybody. Thank
It's
you
like
so
we're
much
done.
for joining on. Yes. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming on. Check back with us this time next week, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're
Fruit
going to
and
be
cigars.
pairing fruit with cigars.
What the
We
fuck was I
explore the
thinking when I said
pairings.
that shit?
This is a fun time of the year for us because this is where we get to really explore. So we will see you next week.
Yes.
And until then, explore the pairings.
There's something for everyone. Y'all have a good night.